everybody to Scryer Vision, Season 1, Episode 8. We are coming to you on the Emporium for the Wayward Gamer Twitch channel and being simulcast onto the Scryer Vision Twitch channel. Be sure to hit that subscribe button. I am your Dungeon Master, Ryan Johnson, and with me, as always, we have...
Hi, I'm Melissa. I'll be playing Wendella Jamjar, Halfling Knowledge Domain Cleric.
And I am Dev, and I play 13, who is a half-orc, rebel rouser, and stud.
Okay.
Hello everyone, I'm Jay. I am playing Moto, our lizard folk monster slaying ranger. Yeah, it's one of those nights.
You want to do it again? Take two.
Take two.
That's a tongue twister, actually.
Yeah. Welcome everyone. Welcome to Scryer Vision. I'm Jay. I'm playing Moto, our monster slaying ranger extraordinaire. Off to you, Jeff.
I am Jeff. I'm playing Dysarius Ironhide. He is our beasthide shifter barbarian, and he's very, very nice.
Hi, I'm Dempsey, and I'm playing Winry Cogwell. He's a halfling battlesmith artificer, and he has a gun now. Watch out.
He does have a gun now. I'm worried.
Dempsey's got a gun. There's a song.
Wenry's got a gun.
Wenry's got a gun. Yeah, that's right. Wenry's got a gun.
I don't have a gun.
That's true.
Bastion does? That actually might be more worrying. Do you want a construct uprising? Because this is how you get a construct uprising.
Kinda.
So, very excited tonight as the green team is about to enter a necropolis that they know very little about. So, it's going to be fine. It's going to be great. Just to kind of recap what happened last time. After witnessing some of their friends from the purple team get disintegrated, the green team was launched immediately into the next episode of Scryer Vision. This episode had, as always, a few puzzle dungeons at the beginning, including a water puzzle that they managed to figure out pretty quickly. Nobody drowned. I was very impressed. Making their way through that, they found themselves on a pier on a foggy ocean, and they watched as a wraith killed a man, and then they dispatched it fairly quickly. The group was taken in by the settlers of New Gossamer, who are the displaced refugees of Old Gossamer, which was up the coast, which is where they said the wraith and wraiths, because there's apparently more, are coming from. They also told you that for the last couple of weeks, this fog has been ever present and sort of blocking out the sun to the point that the wraiths are actually able to make their way down the coastline and attack their little settlement.
It's very scary.
Very scary. Contracting with Captain Kate, the party opted for the quick route to the city. Taking her ship up the coastline, they were unfortunately set upon by goblin pirates riding on reef sharks. Also very difficult to say.
Now, when he says taking, I want us to be clear that we didn't take, we conscripted.
That's a fair point. You hired, really.
I was accused of being a pirate. I will not stand for that.
But you like the pirates, so
yeah.
Does that make you a pirate?
It does. After defeating enough of the goblins, they cut their losses and went on their way to parts unknown as you continued your way up the coast. The fog became even thicker as you pulled into what appeared to be kind of an old shipping bay. There were wrecks poking out of the water and remnants of docks and monuments that have since collapsed into the dark, murky, muddy depths below. Kate pulled up to a dock that did not look entirely stable, but it seems to be holding your weight currently. She told you had 24 hours. She would be back in 24 hours at this exact spot. And if you weren't there, she was leaving without you.
That's fair.
She also said she'd come back another 24 hours later, but after that, she was giving you up for dead. So.
That's fair.
So, as the party stands on this foggy, kind of semi-rotted seaside dock, the smell of brackish salt water wafting into your noses, the damp layer of fog pressing against you as you kind of pull your cloaks a little tighter, you can see that this pier, not really even a pier, it's a dock. It's just a wooden dock that seems to go on for about 100 feet, leads to what looks to be a stone sort of boardwalk area, a stone walk, if you will. And you can also kind of make out the outline of a castle backed by sunlight that's just kind of breaking through the upper levels of the fog, high up on a hill to your right.
How far away?
Would you like to do? It's difficult to tell. Give me a perception test, Isarius, if you're trying to determine how far away it is. No, watch, she's going to roll nat 20.
Would you say perception?
Perception, please.
Could do it.
Roll. Hello. Roll. There we go.
20.
Total of 20.
Oh,
Total of 20. Not a nat 20, but a total of 20.
Okay, dirty 20. So, Dicerius, you kind of like put your thumb up to the castle, trying to see if you can cover it up. And it's about a half a mile away, mostly uphill.
Hey, Modo,
Yes.
how far away is that castle?
Moto
Oh, you
thinks
were good at
for
this.
Half a mile, maybe.
Oh, okay. That's what I thought, too.
What do you think? Half a mile?
Yeah, obviously.
Shall we?
13 taught me this word, obviously.
That's good. You are.
Obviously.
The vocabulary is moving, increasing.
My what?
Vocabulary.
Oh no, I got vocabulary?
Your words, your number of words you know increase.
Oh, yeah, that too.
Yes, you're good and smart.
Let's go this way.
Which way is that?
So, well, there's only really one way you can go at this point. Well, no, that's not true. You could go in any of the three directions that will lead into the water.
I do not want to get wet.
Yeah. So is Dicerius going to be leading the way on the dock?
Well, he started walking.
All right. So, Dicerius, or rather Jeff, please just go ahead and roll me a d20.
Just straight up.
Just a straight up d20.
14.
14? All right. So you continue on for a ways, and you spot a missing plank that you're able to kind of step over. You can kind of feel, given your weight, they're creaking and some sort of bending under the stress and strain of you. This is not a well-built dock. It may not have even been intended for long-term use, but according to the people from New Gossamer, it's just been sitting here for the elements to ravage for quite some time. You've made it about 40 feet at this point. Everybody else is following?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, I need everybody to just go ahead and give me a d20 roll.
Uh-oh.
Hey, nat 20.
Okay,
Oh, I got a nat 22.
Ha!
get them out of the way.
13.
Now
let's
I'm scared.
bang our palms together.
10,
I got a 13.
18.
18? Okay.
Now
So
I'm scared.
everybody is just kind of making their way, maybe some a little bit more cautiously than other.
If anything seems exceptionally rickety, I'll take a minute in mending.
It's not doing too much. It's been left to this state for so long that it's almost become its new natural state. Nature is reclaiming this, and as you kind of are crouched down and doing a little mending on the boards, you note that there's something moving under the surface of the almost slime-covered water.
Don't like that.
I will take a closer look.
Okay, give me an investigation test.
Cool.
Slimy, slimy.
I'm sure it's going to be something. It's probably
17.
A 17 is a pretty good one. And as you're kind of like trying to peer down there, there's a layer of green algae kind of covering everything.
Gross.
And you are trying to get close. Do you have like a stick or something you can break the water with?
I would assume yes.
Okay.
Wait,
Yeah.
I hand her one of the planks of wood that I got from the last dungeon.
There we go.
In the last
perfect.
episode.
You finally pull out your fourth
The plank of wood that's taller than I am.
Yes. I'll give you the 3-foot one.
Okay.
Still taller than I am.
So you kind of get down on the edge of the dock. You dip the plank into the water and try to get some of the algae away to create something of a gap. And the water is just murky, blackish brown underneath the green. And then something strange happens. You see a vine of kelp wrap around the board. And go ahead and give me a strength saving throw, Wendola.
Super good at those.
Yeah,
Are you?
she's super buff.
Let go.
That's an 8.
So, as you are holding the board, it suddenly tugs and rips from your hand,
Yeah.
disappearing into the water. A few moments later, and about 10 feet away, it pops back up like a bobber and just kind of floats on the edge of the algaeic slime.
Are there little burn marks on that board where it wrapped around?
There are little scorch marks on it.
Yeah, that's that same stuff.
What is going on?
Sorry, 13. I lost your board. It's back there.
That's okay. I have this other one, just in case.
Let's go. Keep going.
Okay. I'll
Alright.
start leading the way. No more distractions.
And Dicerius is a good ways ahead of you, actually, I think, at this point.
Serious. What? Don't get too far ahead.
Okay, he stops.
All right, as you continue along the dock, I need another just plain D20 roll. So far, it's been okay.
4.
13.
Uh-oh.
10.
8.
OMG 4. I'm up with Darcerius.
Okay,
He told me to stop, so I stopped.
I need a dexterity save from Dicerius, Wendola, and Modo.
8.
Okay.
I'm re-rolling that.
Oh, did you get in that one?
I did.
Hmm.
So that's a little better. 21.
Okay.
13 for Modo.
All right. So, Modo, Wendola, they feel the board that they step on start to crack. Modo, you move forward onto the next board and are able to get off it before it snaps in half and drops into the water. Wendola, you kind of take a step back, not having put your full weight on it just yet, and it just breaks into pieces and falls with several small splashes into the water below. You can see the vines underneath the surface, kind of trying to see if this is something they can eat.
Not this time, Vines.
Dicerius.
Can I grab him?
I think the established order, yeah, you are next to him.
Yes.
But you had to save yourself, so if you want to try to grab Dicerius, that's going to be a dex save with disadvantage.
Can I try and help
We'll find out in a moment.
to give him normal?
All right. So
It's a narrow dock, so you're kind of doing the single file thing. Right?
How long is this dock?
100 feet
all right. So dex save
with disadvantage.
Here we go. A 9.
Not quite quick enough, Moto. You reach out. Dicerius, you stepped on a board, you feel it start to shift, and you kind of stop and pause for a second, not really getting that until it's too late. The board collapses and you plummet into the water. Wenry, would you like to react in some way?
Yeah, can I thorn whip him up?
Currently, he's underneath the dock. You'd have to get up to where he fell through to do so, which would involve. Well, you're a halfling, so you can move through spaces that your allies are in. You're nimble, so you're able to kind of get up past Moda real quick there. And looking down, you don't see him, so it would be a blind shot with the thorn whip. Dysarius, meanwhile, you've completely submerged.
Wow.
And you're only about 30 feet out from shore, and it's deep. You cannot see the bottom, but you can start to feel things brush past you. You can feel the vines starting to wrap around your legs. What would you like to do?
Start to swim to shore. Hey, also, how long ago was this from when the goblins on the sharks attacked? How long has it been since that?
About a half hour.
Sweet! My potion of water breathing is still in effect.
So yeah, you're not having any trouble holding your breath, which you kind of try to at first, and you're like, oh, wait a second, I can breathe.
Oh, yeah.
And
That's
you're trying to swim to shore?
Yeah, trying to swim to shore.
Are you staying underneath the dock, or will you arch out from it?
Yeah, he'll probably come out from under the dock because it's dark.
Okay.
Under the dock, and he'll probably go out to where it's a little lighter.
Go ahead and give me an athletics test with disadvantage.
Athletics with disadvantage. Well, the first one's a 24, and the second one is a 9.
So you start to try to swim, but the vines are starting to tighten around your legs. And as you try to kick and pull, more of them start to wrap around you. You can start to feel them burning a little bit. You take 1 point of acid damage.
1 point of damage.
Up above, a series of bubbles break the surface. Dempsey, if Wenry would like to try a thorn whip into the water blindly, that'll be an attack roll with disadvantage. See if you can get him.
It didn't show. It says that I did it, but it didn't show it.
That's weird.
Oh, how odd. Okay, well, technical difficulties tonight.
All right, hold on. Let's see
I
here.
think that means auto success, right?
Yeah, right.
Is that what that means?
16 plus 11
34.
plus 7. No. 11 plus 7, 18.
An 18.
Well, it came up as 34.
I rolled two d20s and then
Gotcha.
yeah.
Never mind.
So you pull the barbed wire out of your gauntlet and flick it down into the water, kind of trying to aim at where the bubbles came up. Dysarius, you feel barbed wire kind of wrap around your torso underneath one of your armpits, and you're now being pulled upwards against it. I need a strength. You know what? I'm going to give you an advantageous strength athletics roll, Wenry, to see if you can haul him up. While Thorn Whip usually has a 10-foot pole, you're getting kind of in a tug of war for Dysarius right now.
Okay.
But Modo is right there, so he's probably going to help out.
Yep.
I got a 15 by myself.
All right, there you go. So a 15, you do manage to pull Dysarius up to the surface. Modo and Wenry are able to haul him back up onto the dock. And there are slight little red welts all over his legs and lower torso.
Ouch. Don't eat that kelp.
Are you okay, Moto?
I'm okay. Dysarius,
Not Moto. Dysarius, are you okay?
you need to watch where
Moto, I
you
don't care
step.
about you.
Yeah, I'm mostly okay. Thanks. That was very good. Don't eat that.
I wouldn't want to.
Okay. I'm very wet now.
You are
Yeah, let's
drenched.
go get you dried off.
Poor guy.
Continuing on your way and being exceedingly careful now, everybody makes it to the stonework of the boardwalk. This appears to be about a 50-foot deep section of stone platform, that has a vertical wall of brick buildings that just seems to line the other side of the avenue. And you can kind of see that behind it, there appears to be another level of brickwork above that, almost like it's a multi-tiered port of some sort. But this appears to be where the ships came in or would drop people off in cargo. So some of these ruins look like they may have been businesses, warehouses. There's the remnants of a crane that has fallen over long ago onto the stonework. But it's very, very quiet. That fog is just ever present.
Did any of that Bernie kelp come up with me? Like, did any of it rip?
Yeah, there's a bit that was wrapped around your foot.
Wendela, this for you. I gave her some of the Bernie kelp.
And I'm like looking for something to not touch it with my bare skin with. So I'll pull like some sort of cloth out of my bag, I'm sure. Thanks. And I drop it in my bag.
Welcome.
So you have a sample of carnivorous kelp.
Cool. I'm gonna write that down on my notes.
Okay.
There.
So there are no signposts. There's nobody to ask for directions. You think that the castle lies kind of a little bit more north and up on a hill. But it's tough to tell where you are even right now.
Are there any stairs or anything?
Not that you're seeing.
How high is that second level of brickwork? Can I see up that far? Can I jump up and grab and get up there?
It's about 20 feet up.
So no is the answer.
I mean, you can certainly try.
Is that an athletics test to try and get up there?
Would be, yes.
Can I give him like a
19.
little like whoop to help him
19.
out?
Absolutely. So yeah, with the assistance of your friend, you actually managed to kind of scale up the brick wall. There's a few bricks that are a little bit loose or have kind of created handholds, and yeah, you get to the top. You're definitely on another street, but it's also the roof of the building underneath.
Roof.
I take my rope and I drop it down and I hold on to it so people can climb up.
Okay. So utilizing teamwork and a little ingenuity, you all managed to get lifted up off the dock. Who is the last one to go up?
I'll be the last. Oh, okay.
Wenry, he's gonna tie Bastion to the end of the rope and then climb up,
Okay.
and then have
That's
Moto
good.
pull and then have Dicerius pull Bastion up.
So as you're kind of getting Bastion tied up, Wenry, you hear a child giggling.
Do I know where it's coming from?
It's tough to pin down with the fog, and then you hear what sounds like tiny footsteps
I don't like that.
going across the pavement right past you.
Mm-hmm.
And you sort of follow the sound. They enter a nearby doorless building.
Okay.
After a moment, your eyes adjust and you're able to see a pale blue spectral outline of a child standing in the doorway.
Wenry says, pull Bastion up, I'll be right back. I have to look at something really quick.
Be safe. I pulled Bastion up from.
I'm gonna go and check it out.
All right. So the child spirit is just looking at you, smiling and making that creepy giggly sound.
How tall is this child spirit?
Approach. About your size.
Okay, 2'6".
2'6". So younger child. It's a boy, or was a boy in life, wearing what looks to be kind of almost like sailors or dockside attire. And as you get close, kind of motions for you to come in and disappears into the darkness of that room.
Wenry goes in.
Okay. Inside, the scent of rotting wood and molds kind of hits you pretty hard. and you do not see the ghost anywhere.
Okay. What do I see?
There are a number of what may have once upon a time been crates stacked against one wall. There's a series of barrels in the center chamber which look fairly intact despite the amount of time and environment that they've spent in. There's broken glass near what used to be a window. It was apparently smashed in. And you can see that there are bones under a layer of dust and grime.
Okay. Bones aren't going to go anywhere. Winter's going to go look at the barrels, though.
Okay. When he goes over the barrels, they are sealed tight. There is writing on the outside of them, but it's faded and difficult to make out.
Wenry will, he takes his crowbar out and he begins to try and open the barrel.
Okay. So, giving it a good push with the crowbar, it gives without any resistance. Inside, the smell of very strong, pungent alcohol hits you. You have found several casks of rum.
Ooh. These are casks, so like...
Sorry,
barrels.
Barrels of rum.
Okay. I want to take one with me, but here's the thing. I'm pretty strong. I have a 17 strength, but the barrels are probably bigger than me.
Yes.
So what I'm going to do instead is I am going to cast... How long does this last? A minute. Because he wants it. I'm gonna put one on its side and then roll it out, and take it back to the team. And he's going to say, "Throw down another rope. I have a barrel that I want to take with me."
I throw down the rope.
You roll it towards the entrance, and as you're about out the door, you feel a little tug on your shirt.
Winter says, "Oh, yeah, the skeleton." And he goes back to the skeleton.
Well, you look at the floor, and there's several skeletons kind of scattered about the room in here, and picking up one of the bones, it has been broken open, and there's teeth marks on it.
Oh, great. Wonderful. Winter takes note of that, and he still wants this cask of alcohol because he has plans.
You hear something splash behind you, and you turn and look, and the barrel that you had tipped over has it's disappeared.
Great. He's gonna go get another one.
Okay.
Henry,
Dead set.
what's taking so long?
Yes, at this moment, it's been about 3 or 4 minutes, and you're all kind of just standing up there waiting. Do any of you go back down?
This is wasting too much time. How far is the dip?
20 feet.
Summon my echo switch places.
Okay. So you return back down.
Go and track Wenry down.
And you find him rolling another barrel of rum out, and you can just make out creepy giggling from inside.
I look at Wenry, I look at the bones, I look at Wenry. What did you do?
I didn't do anything. Look, I found this barrel, okay? I found the barrel,
Let me
and...
guess.
What?
It contains alcohol,
Yes.
and you want to use it as an explosive device.
You don't get to tell me my plans.
Oh, come on, we are wasting time.
This
Precious time.
isn't wasting time if it works.
I go and grab the barrel and I just chuck it over my shoulder.
You're not that strong.
What's your strength?
20.
Oh yeah, no, he's that strong. But you're moving fairly slow at this point, getting back
That's
to the dangling rope. Are you going to bounce back up there, or will you get hauled back up?
I'll get hauled back up.
Okay. So taking a moment to secure the barrel, that goes up first. Then who's going to be the last one on the lower level again.
When would be the last?
Okay. You can hear other footsteps around you now. There's more ghostly children that are somewhat concealed by the fog. You can just make them out. Silhouettes, vaporous forms in the mists.
Mm-hmm.
And as you get pulled up by the rope, you see them kind of scatter.
Oh boy. When Renner gets to the top, he'll like brush himself off and he'll say, well, one, don't judge me for my plans, and two, we're not alone here. I don't mean just wraiths. I don't think wraiths eat bone marrow.
There's lots of things that eat bone marrow.
Yeah. Things that could eat us.
Yay!
Don't worry, it'll be okay.
Oh yeah, I have this down here when he holds up the gun.
Are we done playing? Can we keep going? We're on a timetable, are we not?
Yeah, let's go.
I don't know why you're so worried about time. You made me stay the night.
Do we want to be first or third or last?
Probably last at this point, right?
We need to move. Let's keep the pace going. We need to
I'll sling the barrel back up and just keep walking with it.
All right, so you have a barrel of rum that you're hauling around, like a security blanket. I like it. Which direction are you going to go? The avenue goes. Are you going to try to climb the wall again?
Yeah,
Okay.
I got a grappling hook. And
All right. Go ahead and give me an athletics test, Dexterious.
I do too.
19.
So you take the grappling hook, tie it off in the rope, give it a few tosses, goes up, purchase on the first throw. You're good. You climb up the rope, you get to the top, and you start to pull the others up. Same order?
Sure.
All right. It takes roughly 20 minutes to get everybody pulled up this way.
Wow, really?
Well, you're having to tie off Bastion and pull him up. You have to tie off the barrel and pull that up because it's also quite heavy. But yeah, it takes a little time.
Wow.
Odo is actually scouting around every time to make sure that we're not getting followed and or
Okay.
kind of checking to see if there's anything.
Give me a survival test.
And we are in a city, correct?
Yes.
So my favorite to...
Technically it's a ruin, but yeah.
Holy smokes.
So that's a nat 20
Oh, hey, okay.
Hey.
for 26.
So the flagstone kind of roads that make up this consecutive tiered city are kind of uneven here. Walking across them, especially in this dense fog,
With the
is
giant
pretty
barrel.
difficult, but you're able to kind of step around the more difficult spots without tripping, without having any trouble. And as you scout ahead, you do find a set of stairs that lead upward.
Over
And
there.
they're right next to what looks like it was probably the remnants of a tavern. And you could swear you hear, is that a clarinet or a flute or something coming in from inside?
Anyone, there are stairs there. It appears maybe a tavern up top. I'm hearing music coming from the tavern. And you?
Anyone else hear it?
You had to scout out a little bit from where everybody was getting hauled up and come back to tell
Okay.
everybody. So no, they can't hear it.
Okay, so... Do we want to investigate or keep going?
Well, it wouldn't hurt. If there's someone here still alive, then finding someone who might know the terrain and where we're going might be helpful. So it's a shot in the dark, literally.
Ask with a big baddie, Wraith is.
Yes, and we can drink some of this.
All right, let's go.
Okay. So you head up the street, moving carefully through the uneven stones. You go past partially burned buildings that have collapsed on themselves, and you do find the stairs. The stairs are also made of stone. It almost looks like they were carved out of bedrock. They sort of lead up and then jog to the right, towards the direction that the castle should be in. You all are hearing that flute music now. It's mournful, definitely a minor key, haunting as it sort of echoes out against the fog. But it's coming from inside the building.
That's not terrifying.
Sirius looks in the window.
It's difficult to see anything.
That
The
he
window
wipes
is
it
actually
clean.
intact, and there's just as much grime on the inside as there is the out, unfortunately. But as you're kind of wiping it down, it pops open. It wasn't latched, and looking inside, it's very dark, and it takes a second for your eyes to adjust into dark vision. But there's somebody sitting in there. Their back is currently towards the door. And you can see the bar, you can see the remnants of various tables, and it looks like that person has long, scraggly hair and very, very worn, tattered clothing. But they seem to be sitting on a stage, slightly elevated platform on the far side of the chamber, currently playing what looks to be a pan flute from this angle.
Are they solid or are they translucent?
It's tough to tell from this distance, but they're not glowing.
I elbow 13. The person in there.
Let's go say hello.
Hello!
The flute music stops for a moment and then begins to pick back up at a slightly higher tempo.
It's not creepy at all. Okay, I go inside.
Stepping inside, it is very much like the other building that Wenry and you had scouted out and found rum in. There's a layer of dust and grime and mud and muck that kind of coats the floor, roughly a half-inch thick. Bits of wood and glass are everywhere as you carefully step through the room, grateful that you have boots. Some of your party doesn't. You can see the figure on the far end of the chamber. Go ahead and give me a perception test.
I'm so good at those. 12.
12, okay. They have elven ears, but slightly longer and more pointed than your standard elf.
Hello, are you among the living or among the dead?
The flute music stops. Go away, spirits. I have no need for conversation.
I am no spirit.
That's what a spirit would say.
Would it?
I would say.
I'm going to put down the barrel. And then I'm going to pull out my other plank.
Oh, okay.
And I'm going to go and hand it to him and say, would a spirit do this?
As you approach, you step up onto the stage, the wood creaks, and he finally turns looking at you. His face is gaunt, his eyes sunken back, but they have this vibrant yellow color to them. This is no typical high elf. This is an Eladrin.
Do you need food? Are you okay?
You're real. Oh, this is impossible. When did you arrive? No, don't tell me you're spirit. You're trying to trick me.
Here are my friends.
turn,
Just like do
looks
the
at
signal
all of you.
whistle. Tell
As
them coming.
you're looking in the window or the doorway at this, the person turns and looks back at you, and all you can really make out from this distance is the bright, glowing yellow eyes, and then a cackling laugh. 5 spirits. 5 spirits, yes.
Not spirits.
No, not spirits. Solid spirits. That's new.
Hey, are you hungry? And he hands him a carrot.
I have no appetite. But
Okay.
thank you. That's very kind. No, all right then. Thank you.
See? Solid carrot, not a spirit carrot.
Yes, but sometimes spirits can take solid form too. He moves very quickly and kind of gets up in 13's face, very much intruding your personal space.
How tall is he?
He's shorter than you.
Oh, okay.
By a good foot. Have you not seen the wraiths? Have you not seen the ghosts and the ghouls and the ghasts? Oh, the slime creatures that haunt this place.
Don't know about any slime creatures, but that's why we're here. We are here to cleanse the lands of this dark shadow.
How will you do this? How will you accomplish this feat of bravery, of heroicism?
I just gesture to my sword. Gesture to my party. Gesture to Bastion.
Oh, that will not avail you. The Wraith King is far too strong. You will die like all the others.
How come you not died?
Because I know how to hide.
Winry, you were going to say something?
Why, did I die? I don't remember.
Winry, were you going to say something?
Yeah. When he like tugs on the bottom of his shirt to get his attention.
He looks down at Wenry. Yes,
You're crazy.
probably, yes.
I mean, we're gonna kill the Wraith King because we have to.
Good luck.
It's not about luck; it's about confidence.
Confidence, yes. Taller men than you have tried.
Well, they didn't have this, and Henry holds up the gun.
What is that?
Oh, you don't want to know.
Well, if I didn't want to know, I wouldn't ask, but I did, so then, you're right, I probably don't. So,
Sir, can we get your name?
oh, that's funny, I don't remember.
Oh,
I think
Do you
they'll
know-
Just call me the Vagrant.
the Vagrant.
Lost. I've
Do you
been
know
here
where-
for quite some time, you see.
Do you know where the castle is?
Well, of course I know where the castle is.
Will you take us there?
No. No. You
Will
know
you-
there. That's where it is.
That's where you want to go.
I'll be responsible for more deaths now.
Well, you would
Wait,
be
wait, wait,
responsible
hold-
for.
Hold on. More deaths?
I've said too much.
What are these other deaths that you've caused?
I don't know what you're talking about. He takes his flute and starts to play very quickly and off key.
I want to slap the flute out of his hands.
No.
Oops.
You know how hard it is to make one of those when all the wood around here is rotten. Goes and picks it up and dusts it off, and you note that it is definitely made of human bones.
Who are you, and what have you done?
Survived.
Yes,
But how?
that's right, yes. I can see you're a fellow survivor too, aren't you? And you. He looks at Dicerius. And you. Looks at 13. Yes.
Winter says 13, you need to be gentle with him.
Yes, gentle.
I wasn't gentle.
No, you're rude.
You slapped my flute.
Gently.
I wasn't gentle.
No.
You damn it.
Okay, sir, Mr. Vagrant, sir.
Yes.
Will you please take us to the castle, or at least somewhere near it? You don't have to go in with us. When we kill the Wraith King, we can take you out of here.
There's no killing the Wraith King. Now you kill the Wraith King, then what? Then what? All the wraiths go away, all the ghosts get to pass on, the sun comes out again.
That's what we're hoping.
Isn't that what you want? Don't you want to be free?
So much, but she won't let me.
Who?
My master.
Who is your master?
I do not speak her name. No. Cannot do that.
Can you spell her name?
Don't know if I remember how.
And you write her name.
You have parchment? You've coal?
Wendella got those things.
Definitely do.
Quickly zips across the room, almost impossibly fast, and just towers over Wendell. Quickly, please.
Gonna dig around and hold it up.
As he's distracted, I want to investigate the room.
Okay.
That's a 19.
Okay. Moto also doing the same?
No, I'm actually using my hunter sense as an action to find out any damage immunities, resistances, and vulnerabilities.
Well, since you asked, let's see if I can find...
And I'm also going to use my wand of magic detection.
Okay. Resistance to a lot of stuff. So it's resistance, immunities, and what?
It's any damage immunities, resistances, and vulnerabilities. What they are if the creature is not hidden by divine magic.
So resistant to acid, fire, lightning, thunder, and non-magical physical damage. Immune to cold, necrotic, and poison. And Wenry, heavy necromancy aura is coming off this guy. 13, you got a 19 on the investigation?
Yep.
All right. So kind of looking around the room, you go behind the tavern, you find a club that has several spikes driven through it. That was probably at one time the defense mechanism for this place, but it is in perfect condition.
I want it.
Kind of picking it up. It's got great balance, good weight. You take it with you?
Yeah.
You don't even have to identify it because it has it's labeled with what it is, burned into the wood. This is a well, essentially it's a +1 club that does piercing or bludgeoning damage. And does count as magical too. Okay. So the Vagrant finishes his drawing because he started to do letters and then couldn't remember how to make the letters, so he did a drawing and he hands it back to Wendella. This is my what's the word? Patron? Yes, patron.
Master?
Master. Mistress. Master. Archfey, it's tough to tell.
And I look at it. Does it
a signal to everyone
look familiar at all?
Oh, absolutely. You've seen this before. It's the symbol of the Raven Queen.
Awesome.
Yes. That's it. That's it.
Wenry comes up to Wendella, and he whispers in halfling to her, and he says, he's covered in necrotic magic.
I'll respond in halfling. Did you see this picture of the Raven Queen he drew?
It's very well done, but I'm quite concerned about who it is rather than the quality of the drawing.
Yeah, this seems like a not great place to be.
He starts to sing in Sylvan. This long, mournful song. Does anybody speak Sylvan?
Speak Elvish, so I'll probably like understand like parts, just like how like people who speak Spanish might be able to understand a little bit of Italian.
I've got my helm on, so yes.
Familiar language, yeah. It's on the same tree.
I've got the helm on, so yeah.
Okay. It's a very mournful, lamenting song about the fate of the city. That you're able to pick up a couple clues that the king was a tyrant who was given a gift by a greater tyrant, and this led to the city's downfall. And abruptly, he stops singing, turns on a heel, looking at all of you. Are you spirits? When did you get here?
We are spirits.
I don't recognize you.
We're new.
The new spirits.
New spirits in the city. Yeah, maybe there is. Maybe you've foolishly wandered into the spider's web.
Yes, the spider's web.
No.
Isn't she terrifying?
The spider is a she? Nobody told me. Strange. I don't remember there being a spider.
Wendella, did you share the Raven Queen information with all of us?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna try something.
He's not careful. This is not.
We were sent here by the Raven Queen from her realm.
What? What?
She requests that you take us to the castle.
Make a persuasion test.
Oh no.
I want to help. Can I help?
How are you going to help?
I want to help by saying she commanded us to punish the Wraith King.
And I'll come up and guidance him and kind of make it look little feathers.
Feathers. Okay. So then a persuasion with advantage.
So with advantage, I rolled a 21 and I got a 4 on the guidance, so that's a total of 25.
She sent you. You're not even Fae. What has the Shadowfell become since I departed it? They just let anybody in now, I suppose.
You question her?
No, of course not. I question you and your fitness to serve.
Well,
I'm
we're
very
what you got.
fit. Watch me do these jumping jacks. He does jumping jacks.
He just watches until you stop. He's just going to watch you do jumping jacks.
He's gonna keep going.
Wenry says, Wenry, who is quite skilled in talking to people of highbrow people, he says, clearly, you are not fit enough to serve as well. Otherwise, we wouldn't have to be here.
He doesn't register that you've talked because he's still busy watching Dicerius.
That's fine.
The Raven Queen is upset that this Wraith King is distorting the balance between life and death. And that is why we're
watching Dicerius.
Oh.
Just completely fixated, slack-jawed.
Dicerius,
What?
I think he believes you.
Do you believe me? I'm very fit.
What? What? Who?
I'm Dicerius.
Dicerius. No, I don't know a Dicerius.
So are you going to lead us?
Lead you?
His mind is too fractured.
Yeah, I think this is not gonna work.
I pull out my sword and I say I could put him out of his misery.
No.
We'll do that after.
He's harmless.
No.
I think.
Listen, I'm harmless.
He's harmless. But what about
Wait,
all the people that he's
am I
probably
harmless?
killed? No, you were not.
I don't remember.
In any case,
No.
we may see you later, and then Wendell will leave.
Vagrant.
I'm leaving.
As we're leaving, Wenry will say, "You've killed a lot of people too.
People who deserved it.
What's the difference?"
There's people who deserve to be killed, and there's people who don't deserve to be killed. Based
How do you
on
know
their
that they didn't
actions.
deserve it?
Yes, how do you know that?
How do you not know that?
The Raven
How do I not know
Queen
what?
told us.
I'm leaving. I storm out.
You what?
Okay, bye.
As Wenry's about to leave, grabs onto your armor and kind of pulls you in. Beware the crown.
What's wrong with the crown?
Beware the crown. And suddenly this vagrant you've been interacting with becomes translucent and vanishes.
Wenry just says, "Thank you, I think." And he turns and he goes to catch up to Wendella, and he talks in halfling to her, and he says, he told me to beware the crown. And last night, what's his face? Elder Oric, Elder York, said that those who perceived the crown died within a week.
Awesome.
So
Okay.
So I don't know what's going on with this crown, but I don't want to look at it.
Yeah, I feel like this may have required a little bit more research before we just ran headlong in.
Everyone will see Wenry have his pack turned around on to his front, so he's digging in it while he's walking, and he pulls out a set of fine clothes, and he begins to rip the bottoms of the shirts off, and he makes them kind of thick, like 3 inches thick, and very long.
Henry is definitely going to get a fan mail from his grandmother that bought him that shirt.
Wenry is making blindfolds.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
I want to point out that I got upset and stormed out without picking up the barrel.
I was going to ask if you'd left that behind or not.
I forgot about it. In character, forgot because I was upset.
Wenry, you were the last one out. Did you notice the
Moto
barrel
was the
still there?
last one out.
Oh, Moto.
Moto, you
Moto
waited
never
for
left.
Wenry?
I was waiting to talk to the vagrant, and then suddenly he goes to and disappears. He's just standing there like crap.
Moto, do you grab my barrel for me?
No, I would have just left it.
That's valid. Wenry's more afraid of the crown than wanting the barrel.
I could always come back for it.
Yeah, he'll come back for it.
You can always come back for it.
Yeah, it's some very some very aged rum, so it could be worth quite a lot, especially if he sold it to somebody not in the games.
Okay, let's keep moving.
So as the group leaves the tavern and blindfolds are being made, you're heading up the stone stairs. You can hear that panpipe music begin to start up just as you're on the edge of being able to hear it.
I would like, if we're walking for an hour or more, I would like to, one, see if I can use a hit dice as a short rest, because I'm missing 3 hit points from something. And then 2, I want to see if I can bond with the spiked club to add it to my armory.
Okay. You would need to stop walking for at least 30 minutes to do either of those things.
Okay, nah, I'm not gonna do that then.
Okay.
I was hoping we could do it while walking.
Are there any shops or anything that we're passing?
They look like they may have been shops at one point. It's kind of easier to tell those because they had large display windows that have been destroyed.
Dicerius wants to pop his head into a couple. He's looking for mirrors.
Okay. The first one you poke your head into was at one point a bakery. And the scent of rotting molds and breads and decay just kind of assaults your senses as soon as you stick your head through the window.
No mirror?
It's tough to tell. Your eyes are starting to water.
Okay.
Go in and look around?
No.
Okay.
No. Next shop.
As you continue on, you find what looks to be the remnants of a tailor. And think, wait a second, they probably have a mirror in there. So
I go inside.
Heading inside, you go in through the window or the door?
The door.
As Dicerius steps through the doorway, anybody watching from the street should be able to see him kind of turn the short distance and appear in the destroyed window, but you don't see that. Dicerius, you step inside, and it's a warm, comfortable, intact shop. There's a soft kind of harp and violin combination music being played, and a halfling man kind of walks up to you. Oh, welcome to the Needle and Thread Emporium. How can I help you, sir?
Dicerius turns around and steps back outside the door.
Stepping back out onto the street, you're back in the ruins. The building
Hey, 13!
dilapidated.
13, come here!
Okay.
And he steps back inside.
I will follow Dicerius inside.
You both enter the ruin. It is a
It's just a ruin?
shop. Yes.
Oh.
Racks of moldy, rat-eaten, moth-eaten clothing.
There was a little guy here, and this was not all trashed. This was normal.
Are you
well.
sure?
Are there any mirrors in here?
Yes, there are.
I'm gonna walk out.
Several mirrors.
Are they intact? Are they broken? Are they full length? Are they handheld?
You find one broken handheld mirror, and then there's a bunch of them mounted to the walls, but you think one of them that's fairly intact you could probably take with you if you wanted to.
How big is it?
Oh, it's about 2 feet by 1 foot.
Okay. All right. I'm going to take it off, and I'm going to try and break it into some smaller pieces.
Okay. As you pull it away from the wall, a cloud of spores erupts from behind the mirror. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, good. For a 9.
Okay, so you're the only person in the shop right now, so that at least spares anybody from else from having to make this. You take 6 poison damage from yellow mold.
6 poison damage.
And you are poisoned.
What does that mean in terms of mechanics?
Well, I just have to look up exact wording on this. Condition poisoned. If the SRD will open, there we go. You have disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks until you are no longer poisoned.
Gotcha. All right. Do I know that I am poisoned?
Oh yeah, you feel very sluggish. It actually feels like your skin's kind of on fire.
Gotcha.
You are able to make it back out the front door, clutching the mirror to you, but you're kind of coughing. You've got a little bit of blood running down your nose. Make another.
Wendela, I don't feel so good.
What did you do?
Let's see. I will pull out my book on the effects of poisons and cast Luster Restoration.
Okay. So, what does it look like when Wendella casts Lesser Restoration?
So I feel like she's flipped through a book and it's like, do this thing and that thing, and she like touches and it just like poofs out in a cloud of poof of smoke.
Okay. So the words kind of rise up out of the book and fly into and across Dysarius.
Yeah.
You instantly feel better.
Yay!
The coughing stops. You look at the mirror. It is a beautifully edged silver mirror that has definitely developed something of a patina. Do you just drop it on the ground and break it, or?
Nah, I put it on the ground and I step on it and break it that way. I'm trying to break it into some smaller but large pieces.
Okay, yeah, you're able to get several good-sized shards out of it.
Cool, I put them in my pack.
Okay. Hopefully they don't cut through your back.
While he's in there, I want to try and contact Eldoritas one more time.
Okay.
Yeah. He take out the stone and he says, Eldoritas, are you there? Please.
No response.
You know, I gave this to you so you could help me. It's the least you could do. Wonder hangs up. And then
He really just clicks.
Would you like to phone a friend?
Then Dysarius comes out.
Okay. So now with your mirror pieces, you continue on your way, winding your way through the city. And at this point, you note that time is starting to pass. It's getting to be a little later in the day now. It was early when you arrived on the docks, and you managed to avoid a lot of walking by just climbing up the buildings. Never had anybody do that before. But now that you found the stairs, you're sort of making your way through various alleys, and every once in a while you'll come to a section of rubble that's just collapsed down across the street from a building collapsing or something. And
This is a relatively large city, isn't it?
It is very big. It's slightly tough to tell because of the fog, but yeah, it seems pretty large.
We should make camp for the night.
So you have only been awake from your long rest for about 4 hours at this point.
Oh. Well, you said it was getting late.
Time is passing. Sorry, not getting late, but it is
getting later.
Yes.
Oh, I'm leading the way.
Okay, give me a survival test.
Oh no.
Let's see if you can keep your bearings.
That's a 10.
You're pretty sure you're lost.
Modo.
Yes.
Modo 13 got lost. Which way is the
It was a
cat?
city. I thought I could just handle a city.
It's sadly not a grid system.
Let me see. And Moto will try to kind of figure out where that castle idea is, and based off of sniffing the air a little bit.
Okay.
You could smell the castle.
Tracking, man. He's tracking. So, survival.
Ooh.
19.
19 for a scent test. You're not really sure, but looking around, you're pretty sure that if you get up on top of this building that you're next to, you could probably see it.
All right. One moment, and I start climbing up. I'm like,
Do you want the rope?
I have a grappling hook.
There's some good handholds in the stonework.
all right, I'm gonna 13.
He's got it.
13. Send your echo up here too.
Oh, how tall is it?
It's another about. Actually, this one's about 30 feet.
Yeah, I can
Okay.
send him up
Pop the
probably.
echo up there.
So I get up there,
Stay down there.
kind of look to see where at this point, to see if I can see the castle and how far roughly we'd be.
Then I'll switch places.
The two of you are up on the roof.
Help him out.
And you can just make out the castle. You were actually heading in the wrong direction. And
My bad.
you can see that you've kind of exited the steps area that leads up from the shoreline up into the kind of a flat, broad city. And the fog is thin enough at this one particular moment that you can just make out how big this place is, and the fact that it's kind of laid out in concentric rings and is definitely a labyrinth. So it makes sense that you would get lost.
All right. So I point out the direction to 13. It's like this. So we need to go. So we have 2 people that know the route. We need to get there quickly. Time essence.
Yeah.
And climb down.
Well, now that you have the positioning, you take the lead, and we'll follow you.
All right. Climb back down. It's like we need to move.
So before you climb back down, I'm assuming 13 just poofs back down?
Yeah, I'll poof back down.
Okay, so you pop back down there, and Moto, as you're about ready to descend back to the street level, you're on the edge of the building, and you feel something press against your back and just kind of give you a push. Give me a dexterity saving throw.
But of course. 13.
Yeah.
13 is good enough. You do fall, but you manage to kind of twist your body around and use your claws to grab onto the edge of the building. Looking up, you see the pale form of this sort of skeletal-like creature looking down at you with glowing yellow eyes before it disappears into the fog. Regaining yourself, you're able to climb back down the building fairly easily.
What color were the eyes of the vagrant? Glowing?
Yellow. Also yellow.
Monsters are all around. We need to stick together and move forward. Come,
Agreed.
let's go. We don't want to be last.
Okay. So you continue to move through the necropolis, trying to keep your bearings. Go ahead and give me another survival test, Moto.
20.
20? Perfect. You're very certain you're heading the right way. And
this pace is actually pretty good. So, moving as quickly as possible.
yeah, it is. Yeah, you're definitely going at a good pace. And another hour passes or so, and you can start to see the castle looming above the buildings outlined in the fog, which, as you get closer to it, it's becoming more and more dense. You've been going for, well, about 3 hours since you landed on the dock. People are starting to get a little bit tired, worn out from this kind of forced march that you've been experiencing.
Okay.
Do people want to continue this pace or take a moment?
Let's, I think it would be wise to take a short rest.
Winry votes to continue on.
Continue on.
Continue.
Okay.
Right, so
Well, no, Desarius would do whatever 13 said.
it's true.
So it's all down to
Sure, he
Wendell.
would.
It's all down to me. Is that? Oh, good.
It's a democracy.
Let's see how she's feeling.
Do a condition check.
Yeah,
You are.
I'm good. Let's go.
Okay.
So, there you go. Oh yeah, you're very good with that natural 20 there.
Yeah.
So thank you for rolling that now. And quite a few nat 20s tonight.
Right. Winry says, "Guys, we have to keep going. We need to be in the top 3 again. We can't waste time."
That's what I've been saying.
All right. So you continue on your way, and eventually the concentric circle nature of the city gives way to more of a straight grid-like system. And you're passing down a pretty broad avenue that you can see these large steps that lead up to the castle. And who's leading the way? Still Moto?
Would still be Moto.
Moto, you notice some movement up ahead in the fog. There appears to be a couple of buildings to either side of you with these low, like maybe 3-foot tall walls, and what would once have been beautiful archways with metal gates that have since fallen onto the street. There's also a large boulder in the street for some reason. You're not sure where that came from, but maybe they built around it. And dead ahead of you, there's a large fountain that is no longer, fountaining. Towering above you to the right, there is the broken remains of an aqueduct that seem to run up to the castle. And up by that fountain, you're seeing figures moving, dark, shadowy figures. What would you like to do?
I motioned to everyone that there's movement in the established way that we've established, and I'm like, and kind of slow down a little bit, and weapons out. So
Let's climb up the aqueduct and sneak in that way.
The aqueduct is broken and no longer leads up to the castle.
Oh. I knew that.
You want to stealth past them?
That might be wise.
Yeah, I think stealthing is best.
All right, at which point Moto is going to cast Pass Without a Trace
Yeah.
on us. And move to a different location, or move down some alleys to avoid them.
All right, sounds good. Go ahead and give me a stealth test, everybody.
You get plus 10 on your stealth.
Plus 10?
31.
Good.
34.
Oh.
16.
Where's mine go?
16.
25.
That's a 4 on the die.
And I'm missing somebody here.
Moto rolled, a 13 on Moto.
That's a 23 total for Moto.
Oh, 20. That's right, 23. Sorry, I forgot to add the 10. Yeah, 23.
Okay. So as you are trying to stealth around the figures, as you get closer, well, you know what? We're just going to switch over to the battle map, I think.
Okay.
Dun, dun, dun.
As we're stealthing, Winry's gonna tie one of his blindfolds around his forehead, like my bandana is, and just get it ready to pull down.
Okay. So the easiest way for you to sneak will be this alleyway right over here.
Sneak.
But as you get to about that point, you notice that it's not ghosts. You note the distinct armor of the 4 clerics and the Rage. It's the black team. They don't seem to have seen you yet.
Oh no! Why are they here?
But stealthing down this alleyway, you would be able to kind of get up behind them.
Pull out my blade, and I tell it, look at everyone, and I say, it's time.
Yeah, time to sneak around.
Sneak past. Let's go.
But is that our smartest move? Because if we take them out now, then we don't have to worry about them later, after we've cleared everything.
But they not done nothing to us yet.
But once we clear everything in their way, it'll be easier for them to come up and sneak up on us. I don't think we have any other option right now other than to engage.
But we can't fight them.
Why not?
Because they's other contestants and they not done nothing to us.
When he says not Moto, Desarius. Moto's just easier to say. Desarius.
Yeah, you're like a full mod Moto tonight.
I know. When he says Desarius,
What?
the point is to win.
I know that. That's why we gotta
They're-
sneak around them.
They're here and they're in our way.
Let's go.
This is our chance to win.
Okay.
Wenry, how much of a boost in attention do teams get when they take down another team? You've watched this plenty of times, right?
When he says it, I think it depends on the popularity of the team that got killed.
Oh, but this is the bad team, the team that like everyone's like.
This is the team that we're all afraid of.
Wenry, you note that the black team definitely has a reputation as being, it's essentially the Cobra Kai of the game. They are ruthless, very violent, and they have a cult following.
Wenry says, we might go down in popularity, but also we'll be seen as the strongest team, more than likely.
Which would also make us a target.
Taking them out is our only option right now. I mean, we could have them kill the Wraith King, but
If we sneak,
we can't guarantee where the key is.
kill the Wraith King, get the key, we are out of here.
We don't
they
know where
can
the
get
key is. We don't even know if the Wraith King has a key that we can take.
What about the crown?
I think our best option might be to kill them first.
But we will be weak to kill the Wraith King. We need to kill the Wraith King.
It's also a fair
Teleport
point.
out.
I think if we can take out a couple of the clerics, they might not be able to take out the Wraith King.
At this point, as you're having this conversation, Wenry, you hear this kind of scraping against metal behind you.
Mm-hmm.
And you turn, and Bastion has what looks to be a miniaturized imp currently clawing at
Oh no.
Velvet.
Okay. Wenry is going to shocking grasp the imp.
It isn't there,
Oh, great. Cool.
and the shocking grasp kind of discharges into the air a little bit, which definitely got their attention.
No
One of the
choice.
starts to head over, and you notice more imps flying around in the air. Wendela, you know what this is. This is Spirit Guardians.
Oh no! I don't like
I
that.
want to summon my echo.
You summon your echo, and we're going to go ahead and roll initiative. Oh, we should name those two.
Wenry, what did you do?
You're the one that got us lost. We would have been ahead of them if you hadn't got us lost.
It's not like you were taking the lead.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
You're the one that took the lead. You're supposed to be the leader.
If you had listened to me, we would have gotten out of here. If you had followed.
You're not even around us.
You are all being broadcast right now. All right, so let's see. Straight D20. Eric's on a 12. Rage, on the other hand.
I am very excited as a player to fight another team in this game and to take them out.
No.
Subject 13, what'd you get?
I had to refresh because something was glitching up.
How about Dicerius?
18.
Oh, got a 10.
Okay. So putting this into descending order, Wendela with a 23. Wendela, 23, wow.
I got a 19 plus 4.
All right, you are the first to go, and you are currently kind of down the alleyway a little bit here. But you can see your companions have little imps flying over their heads.
I am going to move up to there and cast my own Spirit Guardians. And it is a 15-foot aura.
Okay.
So everybody in the group not affected. All their crap affected. God, it's gonna be necrotic damage on theirs, isn't it? So anything in that area, any of these guys take a save. And that's my action.
Okay.
And my move. I don't think I have any other.
I won't feel bad about slaying these people because obviously he's evil with his fiendish spirit guardians.
I think that is all I can do at the moment.
Okay. The rage kind of moves away from his protectors and spots the glowing form of 13's Echo. With a primal roar, draws forth a great sword that is almost as big as he is and rushes forward the remaining distance here. So that was 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and he's going to make 2 quick strikes with the greatsword on the Echo.
Oh, the second one will hit.
Sorry, it's reckless.
Oh, okay. So the first hits.
Yep, the first hits, and yeah, he goes away. And he's very confused as the second strike just cuts through the air, but he sees Bastion, and he grins sadistically. Okay, Dicerius, you're up.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40.
Is that a wall that he just went through?
He was already on top, or on the other side of the wall.
He was on the other side of the wall. He had jumped over
kinda
it.
Cut through the walls are only 3 feet tall, which probably.
Oh, they are? Oh.
Yeah, it's essentially just a fence. That's made of stone.
All right. Well, I am going to. If I throw my axe, I don't get 2 attacks, correct? That's only
you have to use your bonus action to bring it back, but you have extra attack as a barbarian, right?
Yeah.
So you could use it again, but you wouldn't be able to pull it back after that one.
Gotcha. Okay. If that's the case, then I will throw my axe at the blue cleric.
Okay. So at the blue cleric there, wearing black armor, you go ahead and give me a ranged attack roll.
So ranged is. So an 11.
An 11 unfortunately misses. It clangs off the shield of the cleric, who now turns his attention towards you.
And I bonus action to get it back.
Reappears in your hand.
Awesome. That's my turn.
Okay. The clerics are going to go. These guys are going to take up positions. 4, 5, 6. 4, 5, 6.
Can we get a Spirit Guardians up on the one that has Spirit Guardians?
They appear to all have Spirit Guardians up.
Wow.
Just as a note, my spirit guardians are just a ridiculous amount of like old lady librarians, and they're occasionally going, "Shh, no talking in the library."
I feel like that's sonic damage.
Whenever it's just a burst of radiance.
and yeah, they hear a noise and they're like, "Shh," and it's a very angry shish.
So I'm putting the visible spirit guardians up for each of them, so that we can definitely tell where they are. Unfortunately, Bastion and Dicerius are both inside the radius of one of them here.
What do Spirit Guardians do?
Give me 1 second here and I'll let you know. Because it does take just a second to make sure. Oops, that's a square.
I hate it when that happens.
It's not supposed to be a square. There we go. And the last one, Spirit Guardians. Leviosa. Save. Oh, that's a bit big. Is it? Yeah. Right?
Yeah, that's
Yes.
That's 20 feet.
15 feet.
There we go. That's better. All right, so Dysarius and Bastion both need to make.
Oh no, it would be at the start of their turns.
Yes. So at the start of your turns, you'll make a wisdom saving throw. Okay. Thank you very much, Dev. And we move on to subject 13.
I'm going to whisper real quick to Wendela and Wenry and say, take out the clerics first. I'll distract the rage. And then I'm going... Yes.
When Ree says, you better tell Dysarius.
Dysarius is, he wouldn't even understand. I deleted my echo. Can I get it back?
Oops. Yes, you can. Just give me 1 second here.
I didn't mean to do that.
That's okay. It happens. I thought you tucked it underneath your character. Where do you want it?
That's what I should have done. I'm going to summon it back in the same area it was.
There you go.
Technically, it's not a creature, so it's not affected by the spirit guardians.
That seems like a loose interpretation of the rules to me, but...
Well, that's Jeremy Crawford is like, if we wanted it to be a creature, we would say so. But...
I'll allow it.
Okay. So I'm going to, now that I'm there, I'm going to scoot by Wendela for 10. Yeah. So I can... I don't know what I want to do. I'm going to get out of her way. I'm going to hop over this wall.
Okay.
And then I'm going to have my echo attack.
All right. Go ahead and make your attack roll. You have advantage because he did reckless.
Hey! Okay, first attack. Did it roll? Did it roll? 28.
28. Yeah, that's going to hit.
Okay, that is for 12 slashing.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna unleash my incarnation to make a second attack
Okay.
for 23 and 12 slashing.
23 will also hit.
And then my extra attack, so I get my extra on top of that.
Okay.
28 for 9 slashing.
Okay, you're picking away at him.
And then I'm gonna action surge
All right.
to do it all again. So first attack. Oh, it's a crit. So that's 10 plus 2, and then I have savage attack, so I'm gonna roll the 1d8 again. So that'll be 20 total.
Nice.
Okay.
And then my next attack, a 22 for 16 slashing.
22 will hit.
And then unleash incarnation
All right.
for one more. 25 for 14. I'm so sorry. And I'm gonna say that's what you get for standing me up.
It did sense to nobody. All right.
Never should have stood me up. I rage.
Okay. Take a level in Barbarian first. Your echo cuts through the thin armor that this, villain is wearing. And you can all see as blood kind of gushes out of the wounds that 13 is carving into his flesh. It doesn't seem to faze him. He just starts to laugh. This is the first sound you've ever heard him make, and it's this low rumbling.
That did not take very much health off of him.
Okay.
And then I'm going to move my echo up one, just so that it gives Bastion the ability to like slip out.
All right. On the other side of the compound, Moto, you're kind of hanging up there on the northern edge of the inside of this estate. What do you want to do?
So Moto's going to move there so he can actually see everyone. He is going to use a bonus action to do Hunter's Mark on the Rage baddie.
On the Rage himself?
Yes, on the Rage himself.
Okay.
So Hunter's Mark him. He loaded in his explosive arrow bolts
Okay.
cartridge, and he's going to take 2 shots at the Rage guy.
All right, so 2 explosive bolts loaded in. You raise it up, pull the trigger. What happens?
What are we looking at here? So a 16?
So the first one goes wide. It blows a section of the boulder off. There's suddenly this explosion next to you all.
Do I have advantage because I'm hidden? Because of stealth?
Oh, you are actually. Yeah, he didn't know you were there. None of them knew you were there. So with advantage, what would the roll have
Well, then, actually, if I take the original roll, it still wouldn't have mattered.
been? Oh, well.
But does my next roll get advantage as well?
Yeah, still hidden. They don't know where the explosion came from.
29.
That'll do it. So they're all kind of distracted by this sudden explosion.
So we're going to take 14 points of damage, and then I think it's a D6 for fire damage for the explosion?
Yep, D6 fire, and then the Hunter's Mark as well.
Hunter's Mark and top of the D6.
Hmm?
Ooh.
Oh.
So
Sorry.
it's just 2d6.
Gonna add up all the damage I did.
By all means.
Oh, really? So it's only going to be 3 more, so it's a total of 17 points of damage. Wow.
All right. Yeah, it didn't. It really definitely struck home. It just sank right into one of his arms and just blew. And as the smoke and debris kind of clears, there's definitely some exposed, ruinous flesh. And you can see the muscles sort of tensing and relaxing underneath the skin there. But he's just continuing that deep, bellowing laugh.
Okay.
I did 83 points of damage in one turn.
Nice.
So
And
if
it
it's
only went
halved,
down that much. Oh, they get half.
41.
Oh.
If it was halved, it was 42-1.
Oh.
How can a level 6 character have 3 times 80?
Who said he's level 6?
Oh. How come we got hosed? Level 6.
All right, anything else from Moto?
No, that's all of his actions.
Wenry.
Okay.
Your wisdom save for Bastion.
Okay.
As tiny little imps land,
6.
I'm gonna try to pull them apart.
Oh no.
Unfortunately, no, it does not go in his favor. Oof. As the imps start to claw and try to pull him apart for 17
Oh
points of
boy.
Oh,
damage.
jeez.
Ah.
Is he necrotic?
No, he's not.
Okay. Oof.
This
Yeah,
might be the end for Bastion 52. My turn.
Yep.
Wasn't this Bastion 53?
No, this is 52. He salvaged the
Managed to
pieces.
salvage, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I have to move on to 52, 53. Anyway, Wenry is going to. Let's see here. Winry's going to make a 1, 2. Can Winry like slip by this boulder because he's tiny? That way?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, not tiny but small. 1,
Especially because part of it blew off.
It wasn't a big part.
6. Winry goes down there.
Okay.
And he is going to reach in his bag as he's running and pull out one of his flasks full of alchemist fire.
Okay.
And he's going to cast the catapult spell, and it like floats in front of him on his chest. And he shouts to the green cleric, and he says, "Hey, Stinky, over here!" And he throws the catapulted alchemist fire at him.
Is that a dex save or ranged attack?
It's a dex save. 15.
DC 15, dex save. It's only an 11. That's gonna hit.
Okay, he takes 12 bludgeoning damage. And then Alchemist fires 1d4 at the start of each of his turns.
Okay, so he is currently en fuego. On fire.
Nice. Which means every time he takes that fire damage, if he doesn't put it out, concentration check.
Oh yeah, con save for that.
Save.
Drop.
Yeah.
Yes, his
Drop that spirit guardians.
The spirit guardians that are surrounding him fade away as the fire starts to spread across his armor. And he's, You've never
Ryan's
heard
like,
these guys talk, and they have very.
I let them be too powerful.
Can Wenry direct Bastion to come towards him, like
Yep.
through the same way?
Mhm.
All right, 1, 2.
I'm regretting not having that barrel of flammable rum right now.
7. Wenry has Bastion stand between him and the cleric, and is gonna command Bastion with his bonus action to repair.
Okay.
So
Take some of the damage.
yeah, 2d8 plus 3. So
Okay.
he repairs for 8.
Sounds good. Anything else from Wenry?
That's my turn.
We move on to Wendela. The rage is on deck. Wendela, what would you like to do?
Okay, so Spirit Guardian's wording says an affected creature's, or let's see, the affected creature's speed is halved in the area, and when the creature enters the area for the first time on its turn, or for the first time on a turn, or starts its turn there. So does that mean if I go into like that, the rage would have to take the save right now?
No, it would be at the start of his turn. If
It's
he was to
when
move
it
into your
enters.
area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
If he moved into your spirit guardians, that
Then
would.
I'm gonna stay back here then.
That's fine.
And
Well, if you move.
Yeah, if you move, it would still affect him on his turn, which is next, right?
That is correct. Yes.
that's why I was thinking it. Okay, moving there. I'm also dropping this dude. So winging out the book, sending out my last second little spell slot, woohoo, and trying to fudge monkeys. That's fine.
What are we doing?
I was rolling my attack and it failed miserably. I got like a 2. 10. I don't think a 10 hits.
On the rage?
No, on the cleric.
On the cleric? No, also no.
Yeah, 10. That's baloney. Okay. And then that was a bonus action. So, and then I will Toll the Dead, slam my shield and stuff together at the rage, because I'm pretty sure the other ones can do succeed on the wisdom saving throw, please, on the rage.
I mean, if you insist.
Yes.
At the start of his turn, right?
Does it?
Yeah.
The wisdom save is for Toll the Dead here.
For Toll the Dead.
Spirit Guardians. You got a 12.
Yeah, that's a fail.
Okay. How much?
12 because he's missing hit points. Oh, gee, mini Christmas. Okay, so that is 6 necrotic damage.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anything else from Wendella?
Nope. That's what I could do.
Star of the Rage's turn. He makes another wisdom save for the Guardians. That's a 15.
That also fails because my DC is a 16. So.
Gus!
I don't know why I rolled a million. It should not have rolled a million. Oh,
What?
It should not have rolled the necrotic damage. I don't know why D&D Beyond is weird like that because it should have only been the 3.
Just a 17 then.
Yeah, just a 17 radiant damage.
Okay.
Oh, it pretty much does everything, and you like whatever you choose is whatever. Yeah.
Well, you're good aligned, so it's definitely the radiant damage.
Yep.
And at the start of his turn,
I thought Wendella was possessed. What if her possession makes some little imps go through?
okay, some of that damage that was done begins to stitch back together. And the Rage heard 13 say, "That's what you get for standing me up," is going to make his first attack against the Echo. 30?
Jesus.
Yeah, that'll hit.
There you go. Then jump the fence and engage 13 with a second strike. 24 to hit.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Okay. Actually, it's plus that. 13 points of slashing damage.
Appropriate.
And you know what? Scratch that 13. I'm going to go ahead and pump it a little bit.
Are you smiting? Is he a paladin too?
The blade, as it strikes into you, begins to glow with necrotic black energy that blasts into you for another 11 points of necrotic damage.
Oh.
Oh, I don't like this.
Tyserius.
Shift. Horn gets bigger. Plates emerge from his skin. Shift.
All right.
Which means I get 15 hit points.
All right.
And then he'll move up here next to... Oh, wait, do I need to do a thing? A wisdom save?
You do
'Cause
actually, yes.
I need to do a wisdom save? Okay. Total of 20.
That definitely meets their save, and I'm double checking. You take half of the damage, so you take 4 points of necrotic damage, which you're not raging, so you just take the full 4.
Okay, so I take 4 points of damage.
Though, as the little imps like scratch you, they just out of existence because of your ring of retaliation.
Little suckers. All right. Can I go here?
Absolutely.
All right, I want to go there. And reckless attack with my axe. So there's a natural 20.
That'll hit.
I roll the damage again, right? Is that what we're doing?
You roll another damage die, so another d12.
But I do not add my bonus. Is that correct?
Correct. Yeah,
Okay,
so
just a d12. 2. Oh well. So there's a total of 12 damage there.
Total of 12?
Well, yeah, because 10 plus the crit of 2.
Yeah, unfortunate.
That's a garbage crit. All right.
On save.
Con save? What about con
Not
save?
you.
Oh, yes, he does have to make a concentration test, which I'm sure is going to go great.
Drop,
Fails.
drop. Yeah!
They're gone.
Good job, Dicerius!
Woo! All right, now, Thunderous Blows, he has to make a strength save of DC 8 plus proficiency bonus plus strength mod. So that is what? 8 plus 3 plus 4. So 8 and 7 is 16.
8 and 7 would be 15.
15.
But he gets a
Maths.
17.
Oh, okay.
So,
Rats. So he saves. All right, well, my next attack, reckless attack, total of 20.
that'll hit.
That'll hit for 11 points of damage.
This guy's looking pretty rough.
And he's got to do another strength save for Thunderous Blows.
12.
Haha! Cool. I move him 5 feet. I move him to here.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's my turn.
All right. Cleric's turn. Let's see here.
I need.
1d4.
He gets 1d4. Can I roll or do you want to roll it?
Go for it.
1.
All right, so he gets a little more.
Oh, wait,
burn.
is that the cleric that's on fire?
Yeah.
Oh.
All right.
He can make a dex check at the end of his turn to try and end it.
I
I thought it was the green one that was on fire.
The green one is on fire.
fire.
Yeah, this is the blue one's turn. Oh, this is all of them.
Yeah,
Sorry.
the clerics go as a group. Otherwise, this would take forever.
That's where. Yeah.
So
I was hovering over it on initiative and it just highlighted the blue one, so I understand now.
Yeah, he steps up to the wall. This one.
So he voluntarily went into my spirit guardians? Both of them did?
Yes, they did.
So then,
wisdom saves.
yeah.
So for red, 14.
That's a fail.
For green, nope, yellow. That's an 8. They both fail.
Also a fail.
Is it the ghost librarian from the beginning of Ghostbusters?
Yes.
Go ahead and roll the damage. It would be separate damage.
And now
for
that's
both.
2 concentration checks.
That's true.
21?
Woo!
Yes.
Do you want me to roll it again for the other one?
Yes, please. So for red, 21. And for yellow,
Working on it. Oh, those are some high ones again. 21 or 15 that time.
15. Okay.
And then both of
And
them make
then
con saves.
concentration test. Red got an 18, so he's 9, and yellow, nat 20. This blue cleric is going to keep inside Dicerius' threat zone, but he's kind of keeping his shield up to Dicerius. The currently on fire one is going to limp towards
No!
the battle line.
Also into my thing.
Yep. So
1 second! Dozer!
wisdom save 17.
That succeeds, but it's still half.
Half damage then, and that's still going to be a concentration test.
So 17 halved.
8. And he makes his concentration test. Well, he doesn't have to actually, because he doesn't have Spirit Guardians up. He lost his.
He lost his a while ago.
So minus 8. All right.
Oh.
And all 4 of them cast Healing Word. Can you guess their target? Oof, they don't do very much. And that is going to be it for them.
I would greatly appreciate it if you guys would take down their spirit guardians, because they're going to knock the shit out of me later.
Subject 13, you're going to have to make 2 wisdom saves. As imps are starting to fly into your face.
21. And then 9.
The 9
So half
fails,
and
the
then
21 succeeds. So the success, you take half of 15, we're going to say that's 8 points of necrotic. And the full is a 16, So a total of 24 points of necrotic damage.
I am down to 1 hit point.
Are you really?
Is that your relentless endurance feature, or
Nope.
did you naturally land on one?
Naturally land on 1.
That's pretty impressive. But Subject 13, it's your turn. What would you like to do?
Oh, I should probably.
Would you like to drink a potion? Perhaps you would like to drink a potion.
Yeah, there is a bonus action, isn't it?
Yep.
I'm
Moto,
disengaging.
All right, you take the disengage action.
5. 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Kind of drawing him away from his clerics who can heal him. And then I'm going to use my second wind.
Repair a little of that damage.
Yep.
Okay.
12.
All right. So you can hear his laughter kind of sounding off the stones, distorted by the mists that swirl around you. You begin to see faces in the mists watching you as you flee. Tactical retreat, sure, but do they know that?
I don't care.
Anything else from 13?
Nope.
Moto, when were you
I'm gonna
on?
yell for Moto. Moto!
All right, so 5, 10, 15, 20-ish, I think that's 20. Oops, that's not what I wanted. I want that, which I'm within range. Perfect. All right, so as a bonus action, I am going to Hunter Slayer.
Slayer's Prey?
Slayer's Prey him.
Okay.
And then, even though he's marked, I am shooting my first explosive arrow at Red Cleric, and my second explosive arrow at Yellow Cleric.
Oh, okay, absolutely.
So, first shot.
And you have 6 of the. Well, you had 6 of these bolts, right?
I did have, but it's a container of 5. So,
Okay.
so I fired 2 so far. So here's the next 2. The first shot was a 26.
That will hit.
And that will be only 13 points of damage plus the 1d6 explosive, which is 4, so it's 17 points of damage.
He's pretty rough.
And then a
as he goes
concentration
up-
check.
Yep, he has to do that. 4, he loses it.
And now the second shot from Moto, the yellow guy, does I'm going to use my red.
You're using a red chip?
I'm using a red chip.
Okay.
All right, so there's my red
Take
chip,
that.
and I am using the it's a reroll, right? Yeah.
That's a reroll.
23.
On yellow here?
Yes.
That'll hit.
So that's going to be, oops, 1 second here. 11 plus 4, so it's going to be 15 points of damage.
All right.
And he needs to make a Constitution saving throw. Ooh,
He makes it.
dang.
Keeping those Spirit Guardians up just a little longer.
All right, so sorry, that's all Moto can do right now. But
Okay.
It's fine.
so
We move on to Wenry
I
on the other end of the square.
Yeah. Wenry is going to stalk forward and take out his Wheel of Chaos. And as he's walking forward, he says, "Stop ignoring me." He will willingly step into the thing.
Okay, make your wisdom save.
Okay, I'll do it.
You probably do fine.
Yeah,
Make it right.
20.
But yeah, you make it. So you only take half damage.
Yeah, it's fine. 13.
So
Divide it
7.
by 7.
Yep.
Okay.
7 points of necrotic as little imps start to scratch your face.
Okay. As he's walking, he is casting Branding Smite.
Okay.
So the wheel begins to spin really fast, and it glows with flame.
All right, a radiant flame erupts around the gear.
And he Wheel of Chaos this dude for a 22 to hit.
That's gonna hit.
Okay.
So it'll do an additional points of radiant.
6, so 15 total. That 4 damage is gonna be a force. So 5 bludgeoning, 4 force, and 6 radiant.
Okay. And that's not one that has Spirit Guardians up. So
And then Winry, after he hits that guy, he gets to hit him again because he's got an extra attack.
okay. So Artificer's gonna Artifice.
11. I'm actually gonna reroll that because I'm mad.
Reroll it with the red chip. Okay, I'll take that. Thank you very much for the ammunition.
Yeah, no problem.
Oh, 11
That's
again.
unfortunate.
And Bastion comes up right behind Winry.
Okay, so he gets his shield up and blocks the second blow. The flames are just covering him now, and you can see that desperation in his eyes. He knows he's not making it out of this.
Yeah. Winry's eyes are burning with anger.
Okay.
And that's my turn.
Why are you angry?
Because he walked away from me.
Oh no.
Henry does not like to be ignored. All right, so as we get back up to the top of the round, we're going to go ahead and take a break, and we'll come back in about 10 minutes to see how the green team fares against the rage and the remaining clerics.
We got this! No!
All right, stick around. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. We're about to continue the fight with Black Team, but first we have a very important question for all of you in chat and all of you watching at home. A very important poll that we're going to very scientifically
Very
conduct
important.
here. Indeed. What are your feelings on ranch dressing? Do you support ranch dressing? Do you not support ranch dressing?
Even if you
We're
support
still-
ranch dressing in specific situations.
Are we going to have speeches now?
There should be no specific situation for ranch dressing.
I guess we're having speeches now.
So here's the thing: if you put ranch on your pizza, you're valid. If you dip your fries
Why?
in ranch, sure. Pizza rolls, yes.
What?
Ew, that is wrong.
What do you mean
Wrong
that's
answer. Wrong answer.
No. Listen.
People can like ranch however they want to like ranch.
Yeah, I knew a woman who loved her ranch in mashed potatoes.
Ranch and mashed
honestly,
potatoes. Yeah.
She was an icon.
I think ketchup is disgusting, but I don't say nothing to anybody. All these people eating ketchup.
You know what I learned? I bought this copper bowl from this antique shop, and I heard that ketchup is actually really good for polishing copper.
I buy that. The acid in the tomatoes.
Begun the condiment wars have.
my work. I am a cook. All my food opinions are right.
Not if you like ranch.
And we make French fries and we coat them in the ranch powder, and people love them. It's great.
I bet.
There you
That
go.
sounds really good.
Yeah, it's so good. It's delicious.
Maybe
So
we should
go ahead and
maybe
comment in the chat. We'd love to hear your opinions and get people.
I'm seeing a few opinions.
Oh, are
Seeing
you?
a few opinions. Yes. Fate Befall says Italian is better.
Oh,
Yes. Now,
new challenger
that's totally
has
fair.
entered the fight.
Let's
But
see.
that's not the point. The point is ranch. and everything.
D3WH34D also agrees with you on the pizza rolls.
Okay, but
That's not.
Have you ever tried a nice garlic aioli?
I'm tired of garlic aioli. Everything on my menu has garlic aioli on it.
That's because it's
Please,
amazing.
please, I'm so tired of garlic aioli.
Oh, Bunny Alex says ranch is for carrot sticks.
That's a valid opinion.
And pretzels.
Carrot sticks are very good. I had carrot sticks last week during the stream.
Carrot sticks are best just left alone, and pretzels are dipped in cheese, my friends.
Carrot sticks and peanut butter is a very good choice.
Okay, I really want to kill things now. Can we?
All right, so
Proper
we are
motivation.
starting returning. Yes, use that. Get it into your character.
Oh, I'm already angry.
Wendella, it is your turn. You are in the effect of the
I am.
Spirit Guardians, and you rolled before we went to.
I did. I was on top of things, and I got a 12, and I'm going to re-roll that with my red chip there.
Just giving me all the red chips tonight. All right.
Yeah, I know. It's probably a poor choice, but re-rolling that. Thank you much.
Okay.
Oops, not advantages.
Hopefully it's better.
Hopefully, yes, that's better. That's a 20.
Okay, fine. You only take half damage. Oh my, you take 8 points of necrotic. That would have been really bad.
Yeah, and now I'll roll my concentration.
Dueling Spirit Guardians. The librarians are being set upon by the
Spirit
little
Guardians,
imps.
22, so they stay up.
They stay up and they're still in the fight. Wendella, what would you
They
like
are.
to return?
First I need to do my thing, which is take damage there, and then I'll drop it in this one too. Minus 16. Ugh. I don't like being surrounded by all the things, but I don't want to move either. Oh no, this is terrible. Okay. My book is gonna go there and try to knock out his Spirit Guardians.
Okay, so you're attacking yellow.
Yeah.
All right, so go ahead and... Oh wait, it's a save?
No, it's an attack.
It's an attack, okay.
My spiritual weapon.
One of these days, I will remember how spiritual weapon works, but it's not today.
Spiritual weapon works by eating his face, trying to eat his face. 13?
Yeah.
13 hits.
Woo! That's 11 points of damage and a con save.
Yeah, you actually kind of smushed his helmet in. We're going to give him disadvantage on the con save here. Yeah,
Didn't even
he does
need
not
it.
make it.
Didn't
The
need
Spirit
it.
Guardians...
Ooh. All the librarians just slam the imps and books.
Yo. That is definitely what
That
happens.
is
Okay.
exactly how it goes down.
Okay. And then I would like to run away. No, I'm kidding. I won't do that.
Run away. They're all gonna start their turning a radius.
I know they are. That's why I'm not actually going to run away. But the rage is going to hit me, guys. It's going to be sad.
Hopefully he'll still just be chasing me.
Okay. I'm going to toll the dead rage. That's a wisdom save, please.
All right. Nope,
That's a fail.
that is a fail.
16 points of toll the dead is necrotic damage.
Okay. So yeah, you see his ears begin to bleed a little bit. And he continues that.
And I'm gonna hide behind the fence, so maybe he can't see me because the fence is taller than me at 3 feet.
Okay. Alrighty, so it's the Rage's turn then.
Yes, wisdom save.
Wisdom save. Also, just go ahead and give me a stealth test to see how well you hide.
Okay. Super good at that too.
Does not make the wisdom save.
Oh, for a second I thought that was a stealth check. Wow.
16's pretty
No,
good.
stealth check is 16.
Okay. Oh, I thought that 9 was the
So he failed at the wisdom save. Oh, burp. Sorry. So that, ooh, look at that. 19 points of radiant damage.
diggity.
Hey. And then
Great team.
Team great. Team great.
his wounds begin to stitch together.
With the is it the radiant damage that's doing it? I don't like that.
Nope.
No, it's just on its
It's-
turn. Okay.
All right.
Probably has
That's
like
fine.
a ring or something that will heal him each turn.
That's very rude.
A
Steal
ring
his
that I want very badly.
Should steal his ring.
Glam glam.
Me too. He does not spot Wendella. Instead, he goes for Dicerius.
Oh, good.
No, I was supposed to lead them away.
And he's actually going to go up behind Dicerius here in order to get
advantage.
flanking. And we're going to do, with advantage, 15.
Does not hit.
I don't think that hits.
So the first strike misses. The second strike, 24.
Does hit.
Okay. So he is going to pump that with a smite.
Smite.
Yep.
Paladin. Barbarian.
27 points of total damage.
How much of that is retaliated?
Half of it back.
Ha! Sucker!
So
Take it.
14,
All right, now I have to do math.
which because he's raging, is brought down to 7. All right.
To 7?
Yep, because rage
No.
halves incoming damage.
Wow. All right. Well.
And he might have some other resistances and protections and stuff going on too, so. Okay. So that is everything the rage can do this turn. Dicerius is still up?
Yep.
All right. So Dicerius, it's your turn.
2 can play the rage game, rage. I should probably mark how many hit points I have.
Yeah.
right.
Dropped a little bit there.
All right. 2 can play the rage game, rage, and I rage.
Oh, now you weren't raged?
He was not raged.
No,
He
not yet.
held it.
He kept on using his bonus action to return his axe.
Oh.
Well, that was the first one, and then I shifted, and now I'm raging.
Oh, yeah.
So now I'm raging,
All right.
and now I attack.
Go for it.
So, reckless attack, 9,
Oh.
misses.
Fortunately, he blocks the axe blade with his sword.
Oh, by the way, I'm attacking the blue cleric. That's what
Oh,
I'm
you're attacking the blue cleric. Okay, he brings
Yeah.
the shield up then. He doesn't
Yeah.
have a sword.
blue cleric. Second attack on the blue cleric. Does a 16 hit?
That just hits.
Yeah, sucker, for 14 points of damage.
Nice.
You block the first blow, but you just bring the axe in low and chop into his side. All right.
I think that's all I can do. Oh, 5 foot.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
got to make a strength.
save.
Yeah, strength save.
Which, knowing clerics, that's so good. The strength test, 15. I think that just
I
meets
think
it.
that beats.
I think that just makes it, yeah.
Okay.
Rats.
So you kind of
Well, that's my turn.
You would have pushed him back, but the axe is like embedded in him, and it kind of holds him in
He
place.
can't move. Well, then I remove it.
Okay. The cleric's turn.
Wisdom saves.
Yep.
1d4 damage.
Let's do the 1d4 damage from the fire first. Go ahead and roll that for me.
3.
He is not going to survive this. And then the wisdom saves from red, 7. From
Fail.
yellow, 17.
Succeed.
And from green, 4.
Fail.
So 3d8 for red.
15 damage.
The librarians swarm him and shush him to death.
Shushed. He is shushed.
11, or for yellow here.
16 half to 8.
Okay. They shush him to death as well.
Also shushed.
And green.
Oh, that's a lot of 8s on that dice, but 2 of them are in the necrotic. 14 points of damage.
So Wendella just shushed 3 clerics.
Okay,
Brilliant.
I like it. I like it a lot.
There is the sudden clanging of metal hitting the paving stones and the wall as the clerics just drop dead.
I'm around the corner, so I have no idea what happened.
You have no idea what happened.
What was that?
Viewers at home, the people
My
watching
friends
your team.
Must be in danger.
Yes. The one remaining cleric is going to move forward and use his last 3rd level spell slot to cast Cure Wounds on the rage for
Okay. I like that.
15 points of healing.
That's fine. That's fine.
And he has nothing else. He actually is not holding any weapons. He just has a shield.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
5, 10, 15.
It was hard to tell with the fog.
Okay.
Subject 13, it's your turn. What would you like to do?
Move 15 feet, summon my echo. Put my echo out against the rage.
Okay.
And then I'm going to attack.
Go for it.
Okay. Did he recklessly attack last time?
He did not.
Dang.
He's flanking.
27 for 9 slashing.
Okay.
A crit!
Nice.
So I need to roll an extra d8. Oh my gosh. Okay, so that is 27 slashing. And then I'm going to unleash my incarnation. Oh, that's a crit fail. Does anyone want to use a red die on me?
I don't know if you have any left.
I don't know. Wendell is sitting on a couple, but I don't know what they are.
So as you rolled a nat 1, the rage is going to get an attack of opportunity against the echo, and he's definitely going to hit it and dismiss it. But he
Dang.
sees you again.
15.
He locks eyes with you.
And I say, bring it. And I'm gonna kind of entice him to leave Dysarius's range.
Give me an intimidation test.
You're gonna.
If you can taunt.
21. Taunt.
Yeah, he seems pretty interested in you. Maybe not in the way you wanted him to be, but you got his attention.
You're done here. Surrender.
Okay.
Or come and get it.
I believe that makes it Moto's turn.
Yes. Okay. Just a quick here. All right. So, moving there.
All right.
We'll be shooting his last explosive arrow into him.
Okay.
And all right, here we go. 25.
That'll hit.
That'll be 9 plus 6, so 15 points of damage.
And the last cleric goes down.
As a bonus action, I pull out a dart and I throw it as a secondary attack. Throw it
Okay.
at the rage.
All right, go ahead. Ranged attack roll.
I don't have my dart up. Okay, I gotta roll. I gotta do it this way. So 1d20 plus. Oh, this is gonna be.
You're proficient with darts.
Yep. So I'm looking at. I believe it's a plus 7. All right.
Sick.
18.
That just hits.
Nice. So a dart, if I recall, looking at the information, is a 1d. It's. Oh, I have plus 9. I'm sorry. So yeah, I definitely would have hit.
Definitely hits then.
So it's 1d4 plus 4 plus poison.
That's right. You put the Aracto shark venom on this,
Yes,
didn't
I did.
you? Okay.
So it's 1d4 plus 4, and that is going to be 7 points of damage and the poison.
And he's Hunter's Mark too, right?
Oh, he's Hunter's Marked,
And
yes.
Player's Prey.
And Player's Prey, so that's an additional 2d6
Okay.
for
Well, the
8 more
Slayer-
points of damage.
Yeah, never mind.
Okay, so the total amount of damage on the dart would be 15. So he loses.
But where's the poison damage in there?
There's no poison
Uh,
damage yet.
He'll have the poison condition if he doesn't save, which unfortunately for you, 23 on his con save, he definitely resists the poison.
Yep. Hey, best shot
Worth the
scenario.
shot.
Worth a shot.
Filled
Totally worth
with
a shot.
a dart.
With the dart,
A
it
lot of
did
damage. It
15
actually
points.
is sticking out the side of his head right now.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's the best I could do right now. So,
Okay.
so yeah, it's done.
Then we move on to Wenry.
Yeah. Wenry, still with fire in his little baby eyes, goes on up to the rage, who probably stands much taller than he does.
About 3 times your size.
Yes, most definitely. And Wenry is going to cast his Branding Smite
Okay.
with a Wheel of Chaos for a 16 to hit.
All right. 16 to hit. Definitely hits. Wait, sorry. On the rage, not the clerics.
Yeah.
Actually, that misses.
Oh, okay.
He manages to block it with the sword.
He gets another attack. 25 to hit.
That will hit.
Okay. 7 plus 1 elemental. The element is, I think, lightning. Force. It's force. 7 plus 1 force, and then Branding Smite for a 3, so 11 damage total.
Okay. You're kind of plinking away at him here. He's starting to look pretty rough. We're back to the top of the order with Wendola.
I'm gonna move here. Just to make sure he's fully in my spirit guardians. And then I am going to Guiding Bolt
All right.
at first level because that's all the spells I have left that I want to spend.
And we still have to fight the Wraith King.
19
A
damage
19
for
will hit.
13 damage. And then I am going to move my book here, and that's as a bonus action, so that's going to go as well.
And it's flanking.
Well, the weapon doesn't flank, but you have advantage because of the guiding bolt.
Oh.
What was that? All right.
It's the ghosts! It's the vagrant!
So,
It's his
Wendola, what's your spiritual weapon?
24 to hit for 12.
Okay, that'll do it. I mean, that won't do it. He's still up, but hits.
It's fine.
All right. Anything else from Wendola?
No, that's all I can do.
Okay, we move on then to the Rage, who has to make.
Kind of scared. What is he gonna do?
It's a Wisdom save, right?
Yeah.
21.
Wow, he actually succeeded.
Mm-hmm. And your.
That is 19 halved.
Wow, you roll really high on these.
It's 3d8.
He locks eyes with 13, smiles at him, and then turns to Wenry.
Oh no.
So he's going to make 2 reckless attacks against Wenry.
Bastion imposes disadvantage to make the first one normal
Okay.
with his deflect attack.
26.
Yeah.
Is he still blessed with all the clerics down?
Oh, you're right.
Henry, no. Wait a second.
It would still hit.
23 then.
It would still hit. But you forget that Wenry has second chance.
Okay.
Which means that if you hit me with an attack roll, I can make you re-roll it.
All right, I'll reroll it. So, plus, what do we have? 8. 13.
13 doesn't hit.
But you know what? Let's go ahead and use red chip. Damn, didn't work.
Now I get to take it, right?
Nope.
Don't you have another red chip?
I've got 2 more in my hand right now, and I gotta recall that one to the deck. There we go. Then the reckless kicks in, so with advantage, minus the d4. So 26.
26 to hit?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So then 2d6. And he's
I
going
don't think
to
Wenry's been hit at all.
I took damage from a what should one call it? The thing that went to last. 26 damage.
26 points of damage as the blade begins to glow black and slams into you from above.
Is it dealing any other kind of damage other than slashing?
Slashing and necrotic.
Okay.
6 points of necrotic.
That's fine. He's still up.
How close to down? How close to being not up?
You don't need to know.
That's fair.
Wenry isn't afraid. He's brave. He's brave. Look at him.
Dicerius, you're up.
Smiles at the rage and roars and reckless attack. 24 to hit.
24 is going to hit the rage, yes.
For 10 points of damage.
Okay. So
Second attack, reckless. 25 to hit.
That'll also hit.
16 points of damage.
All right. He is very close to being dead.
That's all. Pretty sure that's all I can do.
All right.
That's all I can do.
Subject 13, your turn.
Move up, flank, summon Echo. Attack number 1. That was only a 13, okay.
Unfortunately, he blocks your blow.
Second attack. Roll. 28
That will hit.
for 11 slashing. And then unleashing my incarnation for the last time
Okay.
for 18.
Your incarnation does not have advantage on the strike. That's a dead cleric on the other side.
No, it's a reckless attack. He recklessly attacked.
Yeah. He recklessly attacked me.
Oh, that's right. Yes, you do have advantage. So yeah, 18 will just hit.
16 slashing damage.
All right. At this point, his armor isn't even there anymore. It's been cut to ribbons. There's blood just draining down his body. It's amazing that he's even upright still, but there's a zeal inside of him that is burning and just, he will not fall.
Okay, it's Moto's turn.
Moto, what do you want to do?
Does range attacks have advantage on him? Because he's
No.
reckless? Or is it only melee attacks?
Only melee.
But because he's surrounded, do I have advantage?
You would have disadvantage because you're shooting into a melee.
Really?
Yep.
I'd have disadvantage for shooting into melee?
Mm-hmm.
Unless I was right next to him, correct?
You took crossbow expert, right?
Yes.
Yep, that would be fine then.
Now, the question is though, does the crossbow expert work with darts?
I think it does actually, because it works with ranged spells.
It says you are ignoring the loading property of crossbows. Proficiency, being within 5 feet of a hospital does not impose disadvantage on your range attacks. Yes.
So,
Okay. So, this is gonna be.
I really hope Wenry doesn't get the last hit, the final hit.
What do you mean?
I'd
Why?
be so upset.
I want
I'd be
the
so
last
mad.
hit so bad. You have no idea.
I hope it skips you.
I want to shoot him with my gun.
Two dart attacks.
okay.
2 dart attacks. So it's D.
But I think Moto's gonna do the finishing
20.
damage here.
Plus 9. So the first dart attack is a 28.
Oh.
And the second dart attack is a 19.
That'll also hit.
So the first damage is 1d4 plus 4 plus 2d6 because there's Hunter's Mark and
Yep.
Slayer's Prey on him. So that's only going to be 10 points of damage.
That one goes right into his temple. You see him kind of lose mobility for a second as he turns to look at Moto, no longer laughing. And the second one?
11 points of damage.
How do you want to do this?
I bite into his neck and tear it open as my bonus action.
All right. So the dart goes right into his throat. You see him tense up as Moto lunges forward, jaws opening impossibly wide as he just bites into the throat and rips it open. Blood pours down this barbarian paladin blackguard's body as he falls to the ground. Dead.
I want to catch him as he's falling, and I want to like guide him to the ground. And as he's like choking on his blood and everything, I just want to like look at him and say,
Oh, he's no longer there. He's
just gone automatically. He has to bleed out a little bit.
Yeah, he didn't have much left to begin with.
I'm going to just close his eyes and say, your fight is over.
Odo
Rest now.
just chomps down and swallows what he just ate.
Moto!
Don't forget to spit out the dart.
He just like spits it out.
Would an 18 have hit him?
An 18 would have hit him, yes.
Ah!
So the
Ah!
cleric and the rage are all dead at your feet. What do you want to do?
Search the bodies.
I'm just
They don't
gonna
have much on them.
lower the rage down, and just go to each of the clerics and make sure each of their eyes are closed. This is the first players that we've killed, and I just feel a pang of guilt mixed with relief.
So, Dyseri is searching the bodies. You try to access their coin pouches that are remarkably similar to yours, except black, but there's nothing inside them. The only things you can find are the 4 pretty banged up shields that the clerics had. Each of them has a holy symbol to Bane strapped around their neck. And the rage has virtually nothing on him. He has one vial of a red potion, and he has that great sword.
I would like to do my arcane insight to see if that great sword is magical.
Okay.
I would like to take his potion and drink it.
Okay. So
Is it a healing potion?
Darius first, and then we'll deal with the potion.
I hope it's a healing
That's
potion.
just insight, right?
Yep.
So insight is
Pick up the blade, kind of look at it for a moment.
total of 10.
You're pretty sure this has some magical properties to it, but you're not sure what. It's
All right.
hard to tell. And then you drink a potion. Go ahead and give me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh no. I thought it was a healing potion. 20.
You're gonna make me waste my diamond. I'm gonna be so pissed.
You begin to vomit.
Oh no, I thought this was healing.
It was not a potion of healing. It was actually poison. So he had not had a moment to coat his blade. Otherwise, he would have also been doing poison damage to everybody.
Well,
And as you kind of retch
My bad.
out any rations that you had on you, their bodies start to fade.
Would Moto be able to get his heart before it faded?
The rages?
Yes,
Give me a dexterity save.
because he wants to eat his heart.
Of course he does.
Dexterity save?
Yep.
Save, not.
16's good enough. You jump on the body, dig your talons in, break the ribcage open, and rip the heart out just as the rest of the body fades away.
And I put up to the and it's like, spoils go to the victor. For my
Don't
clan.
think anybody else was claiming that. So
Can I?
And then
Can I have the
offer.
great sword?
I actually
You
offer
do
a bite to everyone.
I'm just gonna ask everyone. No, Moto, we're good. We need to rest. We need to. I'm gonna kick in the door of this house.
as you go to do that, who's got the highest passive perception?
17. So Wendola.
16.
Okay.
Gwendola does.
Wendola then. Wendola, as he's going to kick in that door, you notice a shadow pass overhead. And you look up just in time to see this gigantic tentacle made of green slime reaching off the aqueduct and slams down right next to 13 and Dicerius.
Watch out, guys.
It begins to retract back up as if it's going to make another strike.
Run!
Yes. Run away.
Let's run south.
away. We're south.
No, north towards the castle.
Towards the
We need to
castle.
find rest.
No, the castle's more important than rest.
It
Okay, we'll run to
slams
the
back
castle.
down. Dicerius and 13 make a dex save.
I have danger sense, which I forgot the last time I did this. I
21.
get advantage on dex saves.
All right, 21, that's good.
11.
11, you just barely make it. It almost caught you, but you managed to get out of the way just in time. The slow-moving, gigantic slime creature is about to pull back up and try to make another attack.
Running.
So you're all dashing northward. It makes one more kind of lazy strike against you, not really threatening anybody, before it starts to retract back into the aqueduct. You reach the stairs that lead up into the castle.
Oh god. This place is terrible.
We
Looks
need
like
to rest.
There's no time for a rest. And
We're spent.
Wenry will
Decision.
touch the ring of spell storing and cast level 2 cure wounds on himself
Okay.
from Wendola.
Yeah,
so if
that's great
Wendola
for you.
wants to cast it for me.
Oh yeah, sure.
What about the rest of us?
Oh, not bad. 17.
17? Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I need.
I just need 1 hour.
So you have the steps and you're kind of looking up. The sun has moved quite a bit since the last time you looked, and you've probably got maybe, it's hard to tell because you have no idea where this island is, but maybe 2 or 3 hours before nightfall. And you know that they mostly come out at night. Mostly.
So we should rest now before nightfall.
Yes, we just need to find a safe place.
We need to kill the Wraith King before it gets dark.
If we
Wendola,
go now, we will die.
If we go later, we'll die.
Yes. Now.
Wendola, you notice a small glowing shape begin to take form in the fog as a ghostly child kind of looks out at you from the other side of a pillar.
I'll call it. Who are you?
It kind of beckons you to follow and starts to run down the steps and a little bit more towards the east.
Not in the
I'm
same
following.
direction where that tentacle was.
No, it's avoiding the tentacle.
I'm gonna follow.
Okay.
What? Where?
13's already gone.
It's just a child.
I'll follow 13.
Okay.
I'm gonna drink 3 doses of my health potion and then follow 13.
Okay, so you pop 3 back. Yeah, you're definitely able to reload. You've had plenty of time for that.
Winry will put his mace away and take out the gun.
6.
Okay.
And he'll run after them. Very upset that we're not going to go and finish our job. And we're taking too long.
Well, at least we're not last.
Do we know what happens if a team dies fully? Like, does that mean that's the eliminated team, or is there still an elimination?
Wenry would know.
Okay.
Wenry would know that it just means that the team is eliminated, but there is still an elimination.
Okay. Yeah, and I think that's why Winner is trying to push for us to go and finish this.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's part of the reason you have no idea how long a season of the show will be, is because teams off each other in the episodes, and it might be 3 episodes for the entire season, it might be 12, you're not sure. All right, so the ghost child leads you to a small shack in the shadow of the castle and disappears inside the door. It's not very large, it's only maybe 4 by 4 feet. Not much bigger than an outhouse, really.
I'll walk in.
Opening the door, there is a trap door that has been opened in the floor. There's a ladder that leads down about 10 feet into darkness.
I'm going to... Can I hear the child anymore, or nah?
Nope, you don't see them.
I'm going to pull out my playing card set, and I'm going to set it on the floor, and just thank the child. And tell them that maybe this will bring them some joy. And then I will tell everyone that I think that this is a safe place to at least spend an hour.
An hour is too long. We need to get going.
Hours too long. We need to get going.
I'm gonna go up to Henry, and I'm gonna look him, stand tall above him, and say, "I'm getting tired of you trying to push us forward. Just because you were so excited to be a part of this game. You were a child, and you need to start acting like a grown-up."
Wenry does not back down, and he says, "Just because we killed the black team doesn't mean we're not going to be eliminated. Do you want to die?
No, because we won't die.
If we're last, we'll die.
You won't die. You know that you won't die.
I may as well be dead if I lose."
Just because you lose status? You're nothing but a coward.
13, why don't you drink these health potions that I have? We got to get going.
No. I would walk down the trapdoor.
Okay, take the ladder down. It leads into a corridor that seems to run towards the castle.
I really need my action surge and my second win back.
Yeah, nobody cares.
And I want to bond with that greatsword.
The greatsword that Dicerius has?
I'm gonna ask for it. You already have a great axe.
You have a great echo. Okay, you can have it.
I mean, we can roll for it if you really want.
You can have it.
Well, 13's down the hole. Everybody else is standing up.
13 had this sword. And he drops it.
Oh.
And 13.
Yeah. I'm down. And I grab the greatsword and I hold it.
What's down there?
I'm gonna try and
Hey, what's down there? What
look around with my dark vision.
It's a corridor carved out of the stone beneath the streets. Some of it that probably makes up this giant rock that the castle seems to be built on.
It's a corridor.
It leads towards the castle. You think this may actually, given the kind of nondescript nature of the hut and the trap door, this might be a way into the castle.
I think it's a way into the castle.
Hey, that's a way into the castle. Let's go. And Dicerius jumps down.
Okay.
But first we're resting.
Before Wenry goes down, Moto's going to turn to him. Wenry, You and I think alike. No, you are no coward, as I am not. We need to move forward. I agree with you. 13 is being irrational, but we need everyone.
I'm here to win, Moto.
Same here.
So are you.
We need to,
I'm gonna sit down and start eating jerky.
but we can't do it alone. We need to have... Right now is not time for power struggle, but we need to figure something out.
Okay.
I'm gonna eat some of my rations. And spend an hour bonding with the sword. If we get a full hour.
Going down, is there any doors?
Nope, it's a smooth corridor heading towards the west.
I will actually stealthily check down the corridor a little bit.
All right, so Moto's
Oh, there's no room at the bottom of the trap, at the bottom of the ladder?
It's a
Okay, I'm gonna come back up into the shack.
The shack is just as small as the corridor. It's actually bigger down below.
Oh, well then I'll be down below, just resting.
Down below.
Winner's gonna go forward with Moto.
All right, so Winry and Moto are going to scout. Everybody else resting?
I would like to take an hour to rest.
All right.
I'm gonna use a couple
Okay.
of dice.
I might as well.
So, Winry and Moto, you walk for quite a ways. The path remains even, and it starts to get pretty dark when you get about 100 feet away from the trap door. Also, who was the last person down?
It was me, Moto, and Wendella up top last.
Right. So, who was the last one of you to go down the ladder?
One of those two.
Probably Winry.
Okay. So as Wenner hit the bottom, the trapdoor actually slammed shut up above, and the door shut to the shack.
So is it dark down here now?
It is pretty dark.
Wendell will pull out her headband with the little metal thing and light.
Okay. As Wenry and Moto get away from the trapdoor and the ladder, you can definitely still see the shining beacon of Wendella a ways back, but it's getting pretty dark. You continue on. Eventually, you can't actually see Wendella anymore.
Winry's gonna be holding on to a piece, like a piece of Moto's clothing.
Mhm.
He doesn't have dark vision, and he's not going to light anything
Moto
right now.
doesn't have dark vision either.
Winry's gonna light Winry's gonna light his mace into a torch to allow us to see.
All right, so Jay, I'm going to move you over to the map to get it ready here, but it's just the two of you, so I'm going to remove the other.
How far is the hallway?
You've gone quite a ways, actually.
Yeah, I probably would stop after like 15 minutes.
Okay. And about that point, yeah, you definitely get to where you're going to be here on the map.
Okay.
I'm gonna look at Wendella and Dicerius and just say, it's foolish to rush this. I understand wanting to be ahead of the other teams, but rushing into something will do nothing but get us killed. Especially if this Wraith King is as powerful as we've been warned. We need to be at as full strength as we possibly can. We didn't anticipate running into the black team, but we need to think strategically, and I'm afraid that those who want to rush us will do nothing but take us to our end. If that makes sense, Dicerius and Wendella.
I don't know. Yeah, but also we gotta get this taken care of. And we have health potions.
But I would much rather preserve that health potion for in combat. And also,
Alright.
it's just getting back resources and energy. could mean tipping the scales in our favor.
To be fair, resources and energy are useless if we're last.
Yes, that's the risk that I'm betting on.
Okay.
We've
The game master
rushed.
hasn't planned out where we're gonna end up anyway.
Oh no, Ryan said that we could lose and get killed off
That's true.
when we started
You
this.
could.
We've already been rushing everything. We've passed through, we've taken shortcuts. We have time to spare. Plus
And
the black.
it's a 2-part episode,
Yes.
so you have a little bit more time than normal with this one.
I just don't want us being foolish.
Meanwhile,
Wise. We need to be wise. Okay.
Jay, if you would transition us over to the battle map once more, we'll see what it is that Moto and Wenry are witnessing.
I can see it and I don't like it.
So you start to see this pale blue glow up ahead as these, what maybe are ghosts, are kind of floating off the ground and wandering around this chamber.
Okay. Moto, do you have experience with ghosts?
No.
Me either, but I read about them once, maybe?
I think this is our time to go back.
I'd rather have Miss Jamjar here.
Yes. So, let's head back, but watch in case we attract them.
They have not noticed you.
Alright, let's move back quickly.
Wenry will place a hand on Bastion as he's like going back, and he says, "Wait here."
Before I do it, I actually am going to spend an action to hunter sense them.
Okay. They have the exact same immunities and resistances as the Vagrant.
Oh, great.
Which are everything except like radiance and cold and poison.
They're immune to cold and poison.
Yeah. So,
I'm going to give Dicerius my spiked club, my +1 spiked club, because he gave me the great sword.
Oh, thanks. This is great. I'm going to call you Smashy.
It deals bludgeoning or piercing damage, and it's a +1, and it's a club.
Is it a great club or just a regular club?
Just a regular club. So 1d4 plus.
I'm gonna have Bastion wait for us there until we return and have him repair while he waits.
Okay, so he'll kind of stand sentry.
Yeah.
so we head back. It's so at about we'll get back about 35 minutes while they're resting.
So you get back to the rest of the group, just as Dicerius is getting smashy.
Moto, Wenry, look, I got Smashy.
Yes. Down the hallway we have 2 powerful and evil necrotic ghosts creatures that are
Do we know
immune.
that they're evil?
Well, they're just like the Vagrant. They immune to everything, probably except radiant. Poison,
Well,
cold don't work on them.
Okay. They may not be evil. They may just be there. But I'd rather have a cleric with us.
Yes. Are you healed yet, 13?
I'm still eating my jerky. I'm bonding with this sword. And no, I'm not.
It's
Are
Moto
you going
kind
to
of
take
goes.
Are you going to take much longer? We need to go.
Probably, they've been gone for 30 minutes, right?
35? 40?
A full hour's rest. Not a minute less, not a minute more.
When he really wants to shoot 13 in the head.
And Moto kind of steps in front and just kind of looks at him, just like, later, when we get back, we will talk.
If you had another pistol, you could have a duel.
And when Rita says, if we're eliminated, I won't have to worry about it anymore.
You all kind of settle in for a moment at the bottom of this hole. And as time kind of clicks past, that's where we're going to end it for the night. We'll come back.
Wait, what's the greatsword? What's the...
We'll find out next time.
No!
All right. We want to thank everybody for joining us tonight and being part of this adventure. We are looking forward to next week, but I think we have a couple of announcements that people wanted to make. I believe, Jay, you had an announcement you wanted to talk about?
I think I just wanted to share that Extra Life fundraiser or charity event is coming up November 2nd through the 4th. If you're looking at joining and I'll throw something in the link on the information on that.
Okay, fantastic. And then, Dev, you had something you wanted to talk about?
Yeah, I publish homebrew content on DriveThruRPG. You can look me up. My publisher name is Lore Masters Archives of Wonder, and I got some cool stuff on there. Like, you can be an otter or like a cowboy. I mean, the cowboy's name is Trailblazer, but like it's pretty much a cowboy. So that's pretty cool. So look that up.
1 second. An otter?
Yeah, you can be an otter. It's called the Otter Folk.
Okay.
It's based off of this character I played a while ago who was a were-otter, but then I decided to make it an anti-race, and he's got a seashell castanets where he can go when he's like casting spells, and I made them proficient with nets, so that's cute. And he dances and he sings. He's a glamour bard. His name is Tipper's Four Whiskers because he has 4 whiskers on each side of his face.
That would be.
But yeah, but you don't. But any Tipper or any otter folk, you can be any sea, river, or giant, and there's other stuff too. Yeah,
very cool. Yeah, go check that out. Any other announcements?
Socials, follow us.
Follow us on the social media. Yes. We may be doing a dice or possibly miniature giveaway very soon on Twitter.
Will?
Is it going to be in a miniature of the arachno shark?
No, I'm still working on the kit bash of that. The first one didn't turn out.
Can we win? Can we win miniatures?
No.
I want an arachno shark. I will give you $200 for an arachno shark.
Well, for that price, you got it, bud. Shipping not included. Yes, Dempsey.
Do we level up?
No, we haven't. We haven't completed the episode yet, so you do not level up yet.
I blame 13.
Are you gonna tell us what level the rage was?
Probably not. Essentially, the rage was just a blackguard from the Volo's Guide to Monsters, with some barbarian class levels. So that's a CR 8. Call it CR 10.
Ryan, we're level 5.
I'm aware. I never said this game was fair.
You're a DM. You know very well that a party of level 5s can take on a CR 10 monster.
If they're smart.
Which you were. You took out the clerics.
No, Wendell took out the clerics.
I'm pretty sure I did like what 60% of the damage on those 3 clerics.
I mean, spiritual guardians, that'll do it.
Oh, I love that spell. I did not.
So that would have ate away at all of you. Before we sign off for the night, I do want to check in. What did the chat come to for conclusion on Ranch?
It was still somewhat mixed. I think the generally is. What does it? Everyone.
There was, it was about half and half.
Yeah.
We might have to put up a poll on Twitter.
It changed to librarians and shushing.
Yes, there's a very long discussion about how librarians don't all shush, but my spiritual guardians definitely do. I pictured in my brain. I don't know if you guys watched all that, but Lori Beth Dimberg and her loud librarian is what I was picturing in my head.
Well, and I will say also that I was very tempted to turn the giant slime tentacle monster into a giant ranch tentacle monster.
God.
But, I felt that might just take us a little bit out of the immersion. Well done, everybody. You've survived another episode, and we'll be back here next week at 7:30 Central, 8:30 Eastern to continue the adventures of the Green Team on Scryer Vision. We look forward to seeing you back. Thank you very much for watching. Have a good night.
Thanks, everyone.